Ha! I said we were live, but I wasn't ready. What's going on? Here we go.
Hey,
Does a mic sound right?
yeah,
You
you
guys hear
good.
me? All right, party people. What's going on? This is Samaj Marsh, and we're back for a special edition of Blue Death After Dark. And when I say we, of course, I mean I got my comrades here once again. Former A&T wide receiver and Greensboro native Doug Brown is on my side. What's up, Doug?
Hey, what's up, guys? Aggie Pride 2022. We back.
The first show of 2022. We were talking about doing it, but we didn't know exactly when we were going to do it. So this is the perfect time as any. And of course, my right hand man, long time insider and a columnist on Blue Death Valley for over 2 decades, the legend, Craig Turner. What's going on, Craig?
Hey, nothing, man. Aggie Pride. How's everybody doing?
Man,
What's going
like
on,
I say,
Craig?
hey, this is kind of like Christmas in February, the time of year you kind of get excited, see what kind of gifts you got under the tree. We got 14 gifts this year. We're going to talk about that. So we had National Signing Day. Oh, by the way, happy February 1st, you guys. February 1.
Yeah,
Was that Tuesday?
yeah.
So all the A&T alumni celebrating that. That was a big day. Hopefully you guys did something to commemorate that amazing milestone. Hopefully you got to drive by campus and look at the monument and do something like that. But of course, around here we were still just kind of had one eye looking towards the recruiting updates, and it were coming in like the election results, real slow, methodic, and a lot of people were getting kind of antsy. But it finally happened. What's that? 14 guys, Craig?
Yeah, 14 on the first day. We got some more to sign. But yeah, 14, 9 on defense, and one special, one long snapper, and then the rest, few guys on offense.
Okay, I can take that. And we also had some before we jump into it. We had a lot of. It's been a while since we've been broadcasting. So since the last game of the season, we had some a conference shakeup. Right, we had 2 members of the Big South unexpectedly jump ship, and they're going to the CAA. And we already knew that we already knew that Northern Alabama and Kennesaw were leaving, going to the what was that, ASUN.
Yeah,
So since we started in less than a year, 9 of the football schools for the Big South has been reduced to 5. And that means we got to figure out some scheduling things. Coach Washington said yesterday that Hampton, one of the teams that's leaving the Big South, they were supposed to be our homecoming opponent. So we don't even know who we're going to play for homecoming for G-Ho for 2022. So that's something to figure out. And like I say, we just still trying to see what direction overall that Coach Washington wants to go. I think he answered a lot of questions, maybe not directly, but subliminally. He kind of made a statement by the way he recruited, I think. We'll talk about that. But so before we jump into that, Doug, 20 years
Yep.
ago, I guess to almost this week, you were in the same position as a lot of these guys, right?
Absolutely.
Because you were making one of the biggest decisions of your life, and you signed with A&T. You had a couple other offers, but you chose the blue and gold. Before we jump into the recap and analysis, personally, tell me how was that for you? What, 2 decades ago?
Man, I would describe it as the biggest, most important, best decision I've ever made in my life. I wouldn't call it an easy decision, but it was the right decision. And it was a natural decision. I grew up on campus, so of course I had some ties to the football program and Coach Hayes at the time, as well as the whole university, all throughout the university. It was definitely home, but I had some opportunities to attend some other universities, and I was still on the fence, regardless of what some may think. I was on the fence up until pretty late, and the closer you get to that time, then you really just kind of draw near to your family and try to make a decision that's best for your family. And that's what I did. And I like to consider myself one of the highest rated recruits to actually choose A&T, outright. I made the decision
yeah,
to come to A&T. And there's been some guys I won't say I was the most talented guy to make that choice, but in terms of ratings. You know, I was a 3-star up there, 4-star by the time leaving. So I like to toot my own horn on this one particular day because, you know, I love the champion athletes that made the decision to come to A&T. And it doesn't matter your skill level. I celebrate any athlete that decides to come to A&T. It's like you say, Christmas in February. So I love to see kids make that decision. I love to see kids come on their visits. I love to see them kind of check out our campus for the first time and kind of get a feel for what Aggie Pride is about. And so to see kids take visits and then make that decision, you know, a few weeks later to come to Aggie Land, man, that is such a great feeling. And then you see those kids come to school, the ones who actually show up and become Aggies, and to see them walk across the stage years later, man, that's what it's all about. So it starts around this time, man. It starts around this time. So I definitely remember those feels and get excited when I see guys making that decision.
So did you have like a whole lot of pomp and circumstance? Did you have a big deal at your?
I tell you what, man.
Well,
I'll say this. You know, it wasn't the same pomp and circumstance that I probably would have received had I made some different choices. But I'll tell you, on my signing day was in the media center, and there was a family that showed up, other than my family, to support me, and that was the Hooker family. So I have a picture of Alan couldn't make it, and Ed couldn't make it, but I had Miss Wendy Hooker and Niall and a young hidden Hooker sitting there as I'm, you know, going through my ceremony, and my head coach and some other friends and family. So it's one cool picture, man. It's one I hold near and dear to my heart. But you know, that day and that moment let me know, hey, I made the right decision. I made a decision that was for my family and for myself, and you know, hadn't looked back since.
Hey, that's it, man. So
and I do want to say, I want to, before we get started now,
yeah.
I want to give a hats off to you know, the coaching staff and all the coaches and all the hard work that goes into recruiting. You got the families, that's one aspect of it, and the players. But it's definitely stressful on those families. But man, just think, you know, how deep a recruiting season is, and how long those guys are on the road and grinding, and not that they ever really take a breath, but to get to this point, you know, and just so that we can enjoy the day, you know, I got to give those guys some credit for allowing us to get to this point, you know.
Hey, there was a lot of hard work being done behind the scenes. Like I say, we're trying to track the football program since the Gardner-Webb game to see what was going on, and it was radio silence at times, and you know,
zero dark 30.
Zero dark 30. Hey,
I can tell you, I like that. I like that.
You know what?
Went into the bunker mentality.
It worked out.
And
so
it's really nothing that we don't do, you know, year in and year out. You know, we just magnifying glass this season, right?
Hey, so what's the one thing that we were all tripping about at the end of the season? We said we need more discipline, right? So what did the football program, coaching staff, players, the support people, everybody, what did they show for the last 2 months? Discipline. Because they were like, we ain't saying nothing, we ain't telling y'all nothing, we ain't posting nothing, we ain't doing. They had a uniform, like you said, they circled the wagon, they had the bunker down mentality, and they stuck to their guns, and they put their nose to the grind, and they just went to work. And
right.
And like I say, somebody who's nosy like me, who's kind of like in the media, hey, listen, so at times I'm like, I want some water. Give me some type of substance so I can feed off of in this off season. But they were like, nope, it ain't about y'all, it's about us, you know. And that was kind of the mentality I think they showed, and everyone bought in because you didn't hear nothing from anybody. Usually, you know, you hear a couple of players posting. Nah, ain't nobody say nothing this whole off season. So that was impressive. So Craig, you're gonna take the wheel here, and we got 14 guys yesterday announced on National Signing Day. There were also we also know of some preferred walk-ons who they didn't put on that list, and there was some late guys on Wednesday who said they were coming, who committed, some big name, you know, guys, and they didn't make the list. So I guess there's still some paperwork, whatever things to work out on that. So we definitely probably are not done. You know, I think that's a given. But so let's start on the offensive side, because we got 14 guys total, and I think it was only 4 guys on the offense, right?
Right.
Okay.
4 that designated right now for offense. So I'll start out with Amani Jones.
What position?
He's a receiver and return specialist.
Okay.
5'10", 180 from Oscar Smith High School up in Chesapeake, Virginia. All-state guys. The guy's a twitch. He will remind a lot of people of Chris Garden.
That's a good comp.
Similar size, blinding speed, and he can make you miss. He'll break your ankles out in open field. He just needs a crease. Great punt returner, incredible punt returner. His senior year, 14 touchdown catches, over 1,000 yards in receiving, and took another 5 back to the house on returns. So he's that one missing element we were missing last year in the return game.
Right.
That one guy who could flip the field or could make a big return for you when you need one.
Because really, we didn't get any big returns until like the last 3 games of the season. We got Tamon Cook against South Carolina State, right?
Doubled up with Simone was on South Carolina State. Yeah.
Was those kickoff returns or punt? Those kickoff returns, right?
Kickoff returns, yeah. A couple pair of kickoff returns down at South Carolina State. A couple of nice ones.
And then the actual final, the last actual kickoff of the year, Aaron Harris takes one back 90-some yards.
Yeah,
so it was very late in the year before we got steady contributions from the kick game. And so you're saying this new guy might be somebody who we can expect to deliver pretty soon.
Yeah. He's a big play guy. He is one that's going to get people up out of their seats, on the edge of their seats every time he touches the ball. He's good. All state. Oscar Smith. Oscar Smith Jones. Oscar Smith High School up there in Virginia is a juggernaut. They won the state 6A, which is the largest classification up in Virginia. They won the last couple of years in a row. They beat the pants off everybody up there this year, and we were fortunate to go up there and get a couple all-state kids from them. And we'll talk about the defensive side later on, because we got a steal on the defensive side over there, and we got one here on the offense too.
But that's the Tidewater area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to be football heaven back in your day, Doug.
Still talent rich up there, man. Talent rich, and he is definitely a Tidewater. He's got that Tidewater twitch. I tell you what I like about him, Craig. He was elusive on film, and he's also a pretty strong kid to be considered an undersized kid or a smaller stature kid. Man, he never gave up on plays, fought off tackles, and found a way to get to the box. So, I mean, we'd love to have another toy like that in the toolbox. So, I'm sure Barnett is excited about it. But
all right, so Doug, do you tend to do you like those smaller receivers, 5'9"?
One of my favorite receivers, Chris Caldwell, was a undersized 5-something receiver. I won't put his height out there. He'd get upset with me. But man, those guys are we know what some of the smaller stature guys have done in our program. We just saw what Mr. Baker was able to do. And we know what Mr. Cohen did in the program. Yeah, we've had a long list of guys that could make you miss. Those are the hardest guys to get hands on. I mean, this guy, guys were having a hard time getting hands on this guy out of the slot on his film and receiver. So, they're hard to tackle. And, the bigger the game gets, and you've got big linebackers, big safeties, it's hard to get down and get low and tackle an elusive guy that you can barely get a hand on. And he's got some speed. So
the only reason I asked that is because it seemed like we had made a concerted effort to kind of get away from that, because we had Chance Pride, and what was the other gentleman we had? That we had like 3, 5, 8, 5, 7 guys in 1 year. Spivey, and then we had like Wiz Vaughn. I don't think he was like 5'9", whatever. And so
at one point we would have considered Malik Wilson to be on the lighter side of things, man.
Yeah. See what happened.
It's tough to tell when a kid is. The kid is 17 years old, going on 18 years old, and still haven't finished growing yet. So, who knows? Kid may grow another inch or two, but I'm fine with his stature. There's plenty of playmakers. Look at Tariq Hill. Tariq Hill, he's playing those guys around. So if you can,
when you're running 4.3, size don't really mean a whole lot.
They can't catch you. So
Nah.
Monte Jones, that's the first receiver we got in 2022. He's a freshman out of Chesapeake, right?
We can check the playmaker box right there. I like that. I like checking boxes. Let's check that playmaker box.
All right, who else we got, Craig?
Well, yeah, I got Matt David from West Forsyth High School. Was All-State, Shrine Bowl, won every Player of the Year honor you could think of. And he was a linebacker, but he also played fullback. And if there was a deficiency probably last year in our running game, it was that we did not have a really strong blocking fullback in that backfield. A lead blocker in there, nor did we have somebody we could really give the ball to in short yard situations in an up man. So he's going to make the transition. He played fullback. He played fullback and linebacker in high school. 5'9" and a half, 5'10", 235.
Okay.
Strong as an ox. I saw this kid play 3 or 4 games during the high school season, and I was so impressed with him on defense. I figured, he's a little on the short side, but he reminded me of Sam Mills as far as his defensive abilities. And but he played fullback and was tough inside runner, hard to bring down, low center of gravity. It's just a good, sound all-around athlete. Very talented kid.
I tell you right now, if Coach Gibbs gives him the stamp of approval, that's all I need to know, because he's been batting pretty good. His average with these running backs,
Well,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I saw a little bit of clip from the National Signing Day Zoom meeting they had, and if you want to talk about extra secret, high security clearance, Area 51, but for your eyes only type of promotions, they snuck an actual sign day party under everybody's radar. They did like in the middle of the afternoon, like 5 o'clock, but they put the word out like 2 o'clock. You know how they do. So when they had a Zoom meeting, and luckily it's on YouTube. So everybody who didn't see it yesterday can go on and see it now. But they had a like a little YouTube presentation, and Coach Gibbs was talking about the fullback, and he had some high praise for him and showed some video of him too. So like I say, I'm not a running back expert, but Coach Gibbs is, so he says he likes him. I love him.
Well, okay. I'll tell you what, I like guys that like A&T, and I think his quote was, "I took my official visit, and it felt like family." And
that's it.
That's good enough for me. Coaches, they like you. I love you. Welcome to A&T.
Yeah, and get ready to work. And like you said, we haven't had a true fullback. I hate this, not to downplay anybody else, but in my opinion, we haven't really had that stick your nose in there and move people back guy since Hollingsworth.
Okay, I was going to ask. I was waiting to hear what you were going to say.
I say William Hollingsworth, Holly. He was small. He was a 5'9" guy.
Yeah,
but trust me, you don't want to see him in a dark alley. That dude, that was gonna be a bad move for you. So
Holly, we love you, Holly.
Yeah, man. Hey, Holly, we need to get him on here because he was somebody who just loved A&T. And when he got his nose into the play, we were gonna get positive yards somehow. So yeah, I'm glad. I hope that guy can repeat that he's from that same mode. All right. So who else we got, Craig? Who's the third one?
Well, surprise was we got Anthony Rucker, tight end out of Orlando.
Are we gonna use him? That's the question. That's the question, Doug.
He's another 3-star tight end. I mean, we've got a great tight end already in sitting, and then we brought in another tight end, 6'4", 240. Tremendous athlete, great on either side of the ball. He was a defensive end edge rusher. And I watched his film probably about 2 months ago when he popped up on my radar that we were looking at him. And this is a guy who's got wide receiver speed a tight end body. He's a good one. All the schools down in South Florida were going after him, and we were fortunate. Came up here, took his visit, and we got him. And you're right. If we use him, we've got to with the two tight ends that with the guys that we have at tight end, there's no reason not to throw the ball to them. I mean, these guys can go. We got two really good ones that we can depend on.
So do we still have the guy who caught the ball, like the ball behind his head against our State? Do we still have that dude?
Yes.
All right. So I feel good. So and
this guy's Craig. Fluid is how I would describe him, man. He's fluid running, fluid movement.
Yeah, he looks. I mean, I looked at his tape, and I looked at his tape three times, and he moves like a wide receiver. He to me, he's a wide receiver. He runs great routes, tremendous hands. He's got the vertical leap. Everything you want out of a tight end. Really knows how to get separation. I was noticing that on the film. He's got a way of running his routes where he gets himself open. The thing is now that we got to utilize it. Nick Dobson, like you said, Nick Dobson made one of the greatest catches I've ever seen out of a receiver at A&T down at South Carolina State.
And then what happened?
He was a three-star kid. When we recruited him a couple of years ago. Yeah. And if you get these two guys on a double tight end set and put one of them in the slot, you can wreak havoc with some linebackers. I mean, they're gonna have problems if you use them right. They'll have some serious problems trying to cover those two guys.
All right, Doug, what's the over and under on touchdown receptions by a tight end in 2022?
That's a good question. There's a lot of factors that go into that.
Well,
you gotta look at the rest of the component. Who's the trigger man? Who's the starting tight end? I mean, we're talking about. I mean, let's be a realistic guy. He's still a freshman, and these guys have to come in. First of all, they have to make it to campus. The ones who aren't here, and make it through a camp. And I mean, that's a long road. I mean, if you go back and look at not just our recruiting classes across America, there's a lot of guys that commit or sign today that don't show up in August for whatever reason. So there's a lot more of the process left, but this kid's got some talent. I'm interested to see him get in our program and develop. We've done a good job of developing kids with size and athletic ability. So he's got some talent. So we'll look to see what coaches can do when they get a chance to get their hands on him. We're going to impress some folks with what we do on the offensive side of the ball.
Right.
I wouldn't be too concerned. Let's just say that I'm never too concerned.
Right.
You guys
relax.
You know my mantra.
Yeah.
We can talk more about that later, but I've got facts to back me up. So
there you go. We like facts. But no, I'm saying I'm a big Nick Dobson fan. You know that, and so I just don't want him to go into witness protection after a 2-touchdown game again. I want him to be featured consistently this year. I think he's going to be a game changer, especially when depending who's behind center. Not even depending who's behind anybody behind center. He's a safety valve. He's a big target. He has a super wide wingspan. He has hands like glue. I mean, he's a quarterback's best friend. So we got to start using him. I think we need to shape the whole offense around incorporating that tight end more. So hopefully that works out. And like I say, Coach Washington, he spoke to the fan base a lot, I think, during this draft, because a lot of the concerns and anxiety that we had, he seemed to have a response for that. And lastly, Craig, on the offensive side, there was another addition, and talk about him.
Quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Eli Burke Handler from Stockton, California. Brick Handler.
Brick Handler. That's an awesome name.
Handler.
Yo,
it's an awesome name. Got a lot of potential there. Got a lot of
NIL. I'm not really one for listen, I'm not one for monikers or nicknames. I'm not that creative. but someone who's has that skill set would love to figure out a marketing campaign with that name, Brick Handler.
I mean, real graphic, yeah.
That's
with a dope
that's a
graphic
graphics artist dream, yeah. So tell me about Eli Brick Handler. It sounds like he's from, can I say Amish country? Doesn't that sound like an Amish name? Brick Handler, Eli Brick Handler.
Well, he's from Stockton, California.
Okay.
He went had a outstanding high school career out there. He was raised one of the top 10 quarterbacks out in the state of California back in 2020. COVID cut their season short because California shut down when COVID broke out.
Yeah, California
they went completely underground. So he made his way to the East Coast, to the AHOP Christian Leadership Academy in Chapel Hill, and caught our eye. And the guy's got talent. There's no question about it. He's got talent. 6'2", 195. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him in person. I just seen it on film. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Everybody's an inch and a half or 2 inches taller than what they're supposed to be.
Let's go 6 foot. Let's go a solid 6 foot.
But one thing you can't deny is he's extremely accurate. 71% on his passes. That's impressive. Threw for over 3,000 yards, 40 some odd touchdowns. He's a dual threat. He's a mobile quarterback. He's not a Statue of Liberty type. He's a guy who will get out and take off and run. He's got pretty decent speed too.
I saw some tape on him. He's pretty elusive.
Yeah, he is. He makes people miss. He knows how to buy time. The one thing that stood out for me when I looked at his film, and there's a lot of film on him, was his ability to sense pressure and when to take off and when to throw the ball. One thing I did like about him in his presence, even when he took off with the ball, he was still looking downfield and finding people on the run if he was forced out of the pocket. And that's something that we were missing last year. I'll be frank about it. We were missing that. It pretty much when the play broke down, then it was pretty much over.
Yeah.
But
you could tell he was well coached. I saw his he put out some of his little training videos or whatever. That's all scripted and choreographed.
It may be, but I'll tell you what you can pick up from that, Thriller. And what I love about seeing this film is he has quick feet. He's got a quick release. He has little subtleties that can buy you time in the pocket, like Craig said, and also buy his receiver space by drawing off the defenders. I mean, he's got a little shoulder waggle there, quick little ball fakes, and just things that little subtleties in his game that I like. Even though it's in a practice format, those things do transition. And he seems to be cool and collected. It's that subtle calmness in the pocket, and you don't have to be the fastest guy. We'd like you to be quick and be able to make a few guys miss, but making the right decisions. Are you a leader? Can you
be fast up here? Be fast up here. Process. If you can process information quickly,
absolutely.
And once again, you said it, man. You got to be a leader of men. You have to be somebody who can. If you're in the foxhole and there's bullets and bombs flying over your head, can your compadres feel comfortable and trust that you're going to have their back and do your job? And, I think, that's one of the things we got to establish this year from whoever's behind center.
Right. I think he brings some things to our quarterback room, and that's all you can ask at this point. Can you bring something to the room, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. He's already here. He's enrolled in classes. He's working out in the weight rooms and stuff. So he's gonna be ready to go spring practice.
So what does that mean? So if he took the umbrage to actually come here early, get signed up, invest into the program as soon as the semester started, does that mean that he's gonna be a factor in? Is he going to be competing for QB1 come this spring?
He's taking the same exact route as Zach Yeager took when he came out of high school. He was an earlier enrollee too. So the quarterback position is open. I mean, it's open. It's open. It's open competition. There's no anointing going on or going on. So that spring ball is going to be extremely important. And if we got a lot of quarterbacks that are going to be competing for that starting job, and so yeah, I think his chances are good as anybody else's. I think those two young guys are probably probably working along with Austin Hooker. You got a whole bunch. I don't know if I've been hearing that Wiles Loring is going to get another shot. Is coming off an injury season and he's in the mix. I don't know if they're going to keep him at wide receiver, but I'm hearing that he may get a look. So yeah, that quarterback position is going to be open in spring ball. So the competition there is going to be intense. But kids don't early enroll unless they if they don't think they can play, or the coaches don't think they can play.
That was my question. And like I say, and you guys know this. There's a few guys who I have personal. I'm like my pet favorites on the team, right? Right. So like on defense, I love Amir McNeil. That's my guy. I like small pit bulls that can that just never quit. And then on offense, I'm a Jalen Fowler guy. I've stated that ad nauseum. We've criticized him and analyzed him as honestly as we could, but I've always been rooting for that kid. And I'm telling you guys, a lot of people are just quick to write him off, And I'm telling you, I went back. There was radio silence from the football program, so I just had a whole bunch of free time. I went back and watched a lot of the film, and you see a lot of things that make you want to, grimace, but you also see some stuff to build on. And I feel like still, I would not be surprised if the first game of the season, Jalen Fowler is starting quarterback behind center, even with all the additions that we have brought in and still may bring in. Coach Washington is truth serum, right? He does not have a good poker face. And at the interview portion of the sign day event yesterday, he mentioned that they were still recruiting some more quarterbacks, and it sounded like they were seasoned veteran, possibly transfer quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So I think Brick Handler is going to get a shot. I think Zach Yeager, everything I heard about him has been high praise, and that's from inside the locker room. I talked to some players, and they like this guy. He has it, right? But to fair knowledge, I've spoken to Jalen Fowler, in private since the season's over, and trust me, guys, he's focused, he's driven. He last season did not go the way anybody planned, but I can promise you he's not just going to lay down. And if he's not the starting quarterback, it's going to be called somebody took it over his dead body. That's how I feel about it. So keep your eye on Jalen Fowler. This spring is going to be a bloodbath. To find out that, I mean, they need to really sell some charity tickets for that spring game, because this is going to be awesome. So Doug, your any thoughts about the quarterback position? You lean any way toward one way or the other?
Hey, I like an open competition. I'm rooting for all of those guys, actually. I like what each of them bring to the room.
Yeah.
I mean, you like to have options. I mean, I know most folks would like to have a clear-cut guy to say, hey, this is a guy we're going to hang our hat on. But, we're in transition a little bit. We just left an old conference for a new conference. So we've got a year under our belt. We understand the landscape, even though it's changed. In the last couple of weeks, it's changed a little bit. But we're in good position. I think we're sitting as pretty as ever. We're still anti. We're still the Aggies from East Market. So we're good to go. All right. I'm not worried about the quarterback position, and I'm on record saying that.
I hear you. Okay, so we got a quick scoring update. There's also a basketball game going on tonight, and right now with 7 minutes left in where's Winthrop at? Is that Rock Hill, South Carolina?
Yeah,
Winthrop
Charlotte,
is
basically.
the A&T men. I'm watching the TV, so the A&T men are losing 41-47. They were up when the last time I peeked over. They were up. So all right. So look, Craig, do me a favor. Go ahead. I need to make a phone call. So we got a special guest, but he's having a hard time getting into the link. So let me call him real quick, and I'm gonna step away, and you take us through the defense and start at the bottom. Don't none of the heavyweights. You know what I'm talking about as far as the heavyweights. So start at the bottom. Let me make this phone call real quick, and we will. I get back at you.
Okay. Well, the first person on the list is probably going to be Jonathan Campbell, 6', 190, defensive back from Mainland High School in Daytona Beach. Took him right out from underneath Bethune-Cookman, and Terry Sims was not happy about that because they really wanted him really bad. Rangy, tall guy, covers the field, great instincts. We were looking, we were, Doug, you and I had discussed this before, that we thought the defense was missing that one athlete at that rover position, kind of like a Jeremy Taylor. I think we might have found him with Campbell. He's he had 153 tackles, 153 tackles. 78 of those were unassisted. Intercepted 3 passes. Also, played on the offensive side of the ball with and was pretty decent as a running back. But the kid played running back, played quarterback, played safety, played some corner, played linebacker. They've slated him to be the rover, to play the rover position in our defense. So I think he's what we've been missing probably the last couple of years at that spot.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime we head down in that area and bring kids back up, we've had some success, especially kids that play in the secondary. So, we appreciate, or we could utilize that speed and the athleticism, and we're glad to have them. Talented kid.
Very, very much so. The thing, the other big news, was we brought in a couple of defensive backs through the transfer portal, and I think most Aggies were pleased as punch when Mr. Prunty showed up on campus. Karam Prunty is 6'2", 190-pound corner. Transferred in here from Kansas by way of South Carolina. He was a freshman All-American at Kansas out in Big 12, so he's been tested. There's no question about it. Big 12 throws the ball all over the field. We got, when you got Baylor and Oklahoma and those folks, they throw the ball. West Virginia, they throw the ball all over the place. And
I see you. All right, cool.
He was in that one in his freshman year out there at Kansas. He came right out the box, 26 tackles, 10 breakups, an interception, and a forced fumble. He's another kid out of that Tidewater area from Portsmouth, Virginia. Left Kansas, went into the portal, went to South Carolina, and decided that wasn't for him, and went into the portal, and now he's an Aggie. And
hold on, you're not talking about Prunty, are you?
I'm talking about Prunty.
I said don't start the heavyweights right now. Hold on. All right, so look.
Everybody on this recruit.
Come on,
they're
man.
all up. This was
the bell cow.
Now listen. To be perfectly honest, this was probably the best defensive recruiting class we've had here since Bill Hayes' day. They got some heavyweight hitters coming in here on defense. And they went defensive heavy, and we had talked about that. That's where they're going to have to start. So we might as well get the 800-pound gorilla out of the room and talk about that secondary. Everybody in Greensboro who went to an A&T game, the first thing he said, "God Lord, we got to do something about that secondary."
All right, so let's pump the brakes on that real quick because we got a special guest. And he wants to talk a little bit about the offense. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring to Blue Death After Dark our special guest, one of the most dominant wide receivers that's been at A&T in recent memory. I call him the grown man. You guys know him as Zach Leslie. Let me add him to the building. What's up, Zach? Can you hear us? You mute. Unmute your mic.
Okay. How y'all doing?
There you go.
All right. What's up, Zach?
What's up? Hey, it's a big pleasure, man. Thank you so much for joining us, man, on short notice, man.
For sure.
Yeah, I had I reached out to your pops, I think, on Twitter, man. So I want to talk to Zach, man. So what's going on with this A&T football program? You guys, and tell me if I'm right here. Was there like a team meeting where the coaching staff and everybody said, "Look here, we gonna be super just into ourselves for the next couple of months. I don't want you guys chirping on social media. I don't want to hear none of that." Did you guys kind of do a circle the wagon type of thing and just hunker down and just focus on the work? Is that what's going on right now?
Well, right now it's like grind time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went 5-6 last season, so we ain't got nothing to be happy for. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just grind time right now. So ain't no need in we ain't got nothing to tweet for.
I feel you, but but trust me, I can tell that shows discipline for everyone to be on that same page. So we had 14 guys signed to the new 2022 recruiting class yesterday, and I know you and your current teammates were probably sitting back there observing. What do you think about that class personally? What did you see that you like?
Hey, I like the fact that we brought in like y'all was talking about earlier. Like we went the defensive side.
Yeah.
And I like that, you know what I'm saying, after going through, what we went through last year, just to get more depth at those positions, you know what I mean? Like that's good pickups for us.
And so, I know, you go against anybody anytime, right? But I know you probably kind of licking your chops to go against some of these DBs that they brought in. Karan Prunty, Mario Love Jr. That's going to be some serious one-on-ones when spring camp starts, right?
For sure. You know what I mean? I'm all up for the competition. You know, like, you're going to make me better. I'm here for it.
Right. And so real quick, just tell us about your off-season work, because I know you had Achilles tendon injury that sidelined you early last year, and you somehow fought your way back to be ready. You got in playing shape during the season. You ended up playing 3 games? How many games did you end up playing last year?
I played 4.
4 games. I got you. And so you kept your red shirt, and so you still have one more year that's coming up, your last year. So how does the Achilles feel? How's your condition? How's everything feel right now?
I'd say, like, my health wise, I say I'm like 95%.
Okay.
I still got, you know what I mean, like it's fully healthy, you know what I mean, but I just got, just a little more trust to gain in it. Like, I got all the trust, you know what I mean, but I just, in the spring, I feel like that's gonna give me the trust I need for the season, just to, make sure that I can still do what I do.
And so Doug, this guy is one of the founder members of Jump Ball U, right? And so he was not 100% last year, but he still, you go back to that Robert Morris game, he gets in there right before the end of the half, and he goes up about 20 feet and just you got Moss on that poor defensive back.
Man, you know what? I'm up there yelling all the time. Just throw it up. Just throw it up. Throw it up. One-on-one outside. Throw it up to him. I mean, what a safety valve to have. I mean, you've been doing it since the moment you stepped on campus. We're glad to have you. I mean, I know you spent some time on the other side of E-Bell and you played with some other great receivers, but you really have kind of carved your own niche and, have your own set of plays and great Aggie history to remember. And you've been a great contribution. So we appreciate what you've done and what you continue to do, man. We know you fought through some adversity last year. Injuries are a tough part of the game, and you've had so much success, and you had a lot riding on this year and a lot of people counting on you. So to take all that and come out there and perform in the short time that you were on the field, man, says a lot about you and your character and your ability to persevere. But I have a question for you. I'd like to know, I mean, obviously you came to A&T. Do you enjoy, the recruiting process? Are you one of the guys you like to host and be involved with trying to convince other kids to make that decision to come to A&T and kind of walk the same path that you did? I mean, I know your brother followed your footsteps, but how good a recruiter are you? Are you one of the guys that make other guys want to come be a part of this thing?
No, I don't know.
that ain't your role, huh?
No. Like, you do not want to chill with me. Like, I'm probably like the most boring person ever to like chill with. Like, you chill with me, you probably not gonna commit, you know what I mean? But I'll be around, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might show my face to the recruiters, like, but other than like me being a host, nah, you don't want me to be a host.
So Zach,
remember, there's somebody for everybody. There's another Zach Leslie out there.
Yeah.
That may need to connect with you, right? He might not want to go out and be in the mix and that sort of deal. I tell you what, I was when I got recruited, I was hosted by then who was kind of our star player, Mr. Curtis DeLoach. And being a hometown kid, I was so excited to go and be a part of the recruiting process. You only get 4 or 5 visits. And we show up to the basketball game, and the basketball game is jumping. I mean, not a seat in the house. Man, they had to know standing on the rail policy, and Curtis DeLoach decided he was going to stand by the rail, and he wasn't going to move. Man, they kicked us out of the basketball game within 5 minutes. We went in there 5 minutes. They pushed us out the side door, and I'm like, well, I don't know what we're going to do for the rest of the visit, but, man, we found a way to have a good time just hanging out and just being around the guys on campus and one of the local gathering spots. So, I always like to tease guys and ask guys because I love hosting guys. I wanted to, have everybody come and I wanted to show them around and wanted them to show what was so special about us. And, there's a niche for you, man, even if it's not, it may just be speaking to the team or, they're seeing your highlights for sure. So you're doing your job through what you do on the field. So that's the way you normally talk, right?
Yeah. That's what I try to show.
Right.
I try to lead on the field. Like off the field, they probably don't see me as much.
Right. Hey, so Zach, tell me
when
you would come out of high school, because I know you went to a prep school before coming to A&T, right? So what was your recruiting process like? Were you like a 3-star guy? Like, tell me about the whole process.
Palmetto?
No,
I ain't had no stars.
Really? Okay.
I came out of Palmetto. I played the season at Palmetto. I probably didn't play like the last 2 games because I started talking to A&T. So I came to A&T. G-Ho, it was Reek senior year. So it was Reek senior year. And, that kind of was like, it's over with. So after that, it was like a week later, and Coach Broadway offered me. And then, like, I committed a week later, and then it was basically, I've been an Aggie from that point on.
And, I want, and Craig, I'm very humble, right? But I'm gonna take a little bit of credit. I feel like
homeboy there. Homeboy. Oh, that's not the word I would use, but go ahead.
So score update. We're down 52-58 with 2 minutes left. So damn it. All right. So I feel I'm pretty humble, but I feel like I introduced the world through social media, at least, to grown men Zach Leslie. I think I was the first person to say we got somebody that y'all need to focus on and watch out for. And then that season he lived up to the hype. He made me look like a genius. So Zach, you tell me. Listen, Zach, you tell me who's the next up and coming, the next breakthrough A&T football star that the world might not know, but that you got you got a feel for? Who's somebody we should look out for?
Man, we got a couple for real. Like we deep in the receiver room. Jameson, Warren,
right?
Sterl, Elijah Boyd.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Then you still got Zach. You still got Toot. Hey, and then even on the defensive side of the ball, you know, you still can look out for. It's just a lot of people. You know what I mean? Just I feel like it's gonna step up this season. Like when they chance come.
Prestige, man. Come on now. I gave you a softball. You could hit that out of the park. Prestige Edwards.
Oh yeah, man! I can't forget about my dog, man.
Come on, man.
Prestige for sure.
Listen, y'all. I see y'all thugging at Club Corbett.
Man. It's just like so many, but them off the top because they like, you know what I mean? Like they the youngest. They the youngest in the They're the youngest in the room.
Right. So definitely, I like to say that wide receiver room is so loaded, and you're going to be the elder statesman. So there's no Elijah Bell. There's no that's shoot. Everybody's gone. No Corey Banks. Everybody's gone. You're like the last man standing. You're gonna probably be, you know, wide receiver number one, the X guy. Are you ready to put that on your shoulders? Are you ready to you know, be the go-to wide receiver this year?
Oh yeah, man. It's like this for me, like this senior season, you know what I mean? So like in high school, I tore my shoulder up in high school, so I wasn't able to play my senior season. So it's really gonna be like my first like real senior season. So you know what I mean? Like I just feel like it's like destined for me. You know what I mean? Like I gotta perform like how I know I can.
What's your best route? If you know, what you feel is your best route that you run? Outside of the nine route. What is your best? You know, no, and that's you know, this is Blue Def, so we don't have to be like politically correct. The knock on A&T wide receivers, right, is that we don't produce great route runners. That's what people say. Like we got talented guys who can jump, you know, 50 inches off their ground, but when it comes to, you know, like Antonio Brown and running those quick blah blah blah, we don't do that, you know. So tell me what's your best route?
I try to keep my bag open, you know what I mean? But I like running comebacks and probably like a deep slant. Them probably the two that I probably got the most film on, like but them probably like the two favorite probably that I like running.
So we've been a little bit, you know, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but you know, you're probably going to be one of the at the end of the season, one of those A&T NFL prospects, right? I'm pretty sure scouts have been coming and talking to you. So what have you heard that you need to add to your game to get to that next level? What do you think? What's the missing piece?
I just gotta be. It's just like, you know, probably for me personally, not even like, because they just want to see me playing back, like coming off of the torn Achilles, so they just want to make sure I can still play. But for me personally, I just feel like I got to do a better job in like the run game with blocking. That's probably what I'm gonna focus on the most in the spring.
Okay. All right, so we got this guy. We don't want to keep him up because you know, he's been very generous with his time, and I'm sure, you know, the football staff probably said don't even get on Blue Def no more. We don't, you know, so he might have some up downs tomorrow just for being on this broadcast. So we appreciate your sacrifice, bro. But so Craig, any last things you want to ask Zach before you let him go?
Yeah, Zach, going into you, getting ready for spring ball and into your senior season. What are your aspirations as far as playing after you finish your college career?
Oh, league for sure. Like that's like the main goal. Like to make it to the next level after this.
And so look, so let's get some measures. You're 6'3", you're legit 6'3", right? All right, because next time
6.5. We can't forget the half.
So listen, I'm 6'4".
No.
Now listen, so I'm the always the test on this because I hear guys say they 6'4" and they be like, I'll be looking down on them. So I seen you. You are almost my height, not quite. You're almost my height, and Prestige is taller than me. So he's legit 6'5", 6'6". So I give you guys credit.
Yeah, he tall.
What are you running though? What's the as far as the 40 goes? And don't say I never got time. Everybody says I never got time when they slow. So tell me what is your best 40 time? Give me.
Hey,
I ran like a 4. I probably ran like my fastest one since I've been at A&T is probably like a 4.5, like 2 or something like that.
If it's under 6,
since I've been here, but
yeah. If
I'm
it's
lower
under
than that at this point, I feel like I can get lower than that right now.
And like I tell everybody, whoever was training Mac McCain, get with him, because Mac McCain transformed his whole body in like 2 months before that draft. So I don't know what happened.
For sure, Mac different though.
Mac is different, man. I tell you. All right, Jet. So Doug, anything else? We good?
No, man. Just keep working, keep grinding. Stay nose down, man.
Always.
Block out the noise, man. Keep leading by example, man. You awesome kid, awesome character. And the sky's the limit for you, man. Super talented kid, man.
Before we let you go,
appreciate you for sure.
Say something good. We are losing by 11 with 22 seconds left, so that's not good. Hey, but Zach, name, image, and license, right? It's your last year of college. There's so much money out there in the streets. Or do you have any like T-shirts or anything that we can buy to help you, put a little cash in your pocket?
Oh no, I don't personally have no NIL deals, but if y'all know any, you know what I'm saying, send them my way.
You gotta make some. You saw Jacob with his shirts. Jacob Roberts, he got his little his clothing line. You guys gotta
man. I ain't you know what I mean. You let some people do what they do. You know what I mean. You gotta stay in your lane. That ain't my lane.
I hear you. You're not gonna have no Zach Leslie do-rag editions, no special.
We might. That's smart. We might could do that.
A&T has a national do-rag day every year, right? Especially when it gets warm. Wave check. So look,
my days of that is over.
But what if everybody is wearing Zach Leslie do-rags on do-rag day? You got like half the campus buying into that, man. Hey,
we might can do something like that. You might have came up with something. We might
we'll talk offline, figure something out, man.
No, Lord.
Zach said he's focused on football. That's what he said he's focused on right now. He'll get with you after.
Hey, we're gonna let you go, Zach. But tell your coaches that you got held for ransom. You didn't do this on your own. I forced you to do it, so it's not your fault.
I appreciate you.
But hey, you be safe, man, and appreciate you coming out here. We'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate
y'all.
All
right. Thanks, man.
Oh man, that was awesome. So we had
great kid, man.
The grown man,
Zach
Leslie. I love guys who just don't talk a lot, but just lead with their actions on the field. And anytime you want to get down on A&T and wonder what we going, 5 and 6 last year, when you still got guys like that in the program, you've got a shot. You're always going to be able. You got a shot to change that thing around real quick. So I interrupted you, Craig. You're talking about the defense.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring Zach on real quick, but you were talking about some of our defensive backs. But before you get back to that list, we actually have another guest in the
okay.
And he has a little bit of expertise on that secondary. And this is a gentleman who's a former player, played in the back end, and under Coach Washington, under Coach Broadway, and he knows the ins and outs of this Blue Death defense, right? So let me bring in free safety, strong safety, wherever he had to play, Jamal Darden. Let me add him to the stream. What's up, Jamal?
How y'all doing?
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
You got a good mic, Jamal. I hear you loud and clear, man. You rap in your spare time?
Nah, cell phone.
Okay. Oh, say no, look, we got a problem now because I just thought about this is the third capper we had on our show, and we only had one cue, so Lamar's gonna be pissed. we gonna have to start bouncing this out pretty good. So it was you, Malik, and we had Tamadre. So so you're the third Kappa to join the broadcast. But thank you so much for coming out, man. How's everything been going?
Everything's been going good. Thank y'all for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So look, Craig, Doug.
Yeah.
I follow this guy on social media, and he reminds me of myself a little bit. Because he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's not afraid to say. See, a lot of people are afraid to say what they feel. It's like no one can be honest anymore, right? And so during the whole, all the commotion with Jackson State, and they were recruiting and getting all these big name guys. My man Jamal said, "Hey, A&T, we gotta step up. We gotta, improve our recruiting, right?" And so I said, "Yeah, you're right. We need to." So that's not a put down. That's just saying that's just a challenge. Like, let's go ahead and get these guys because we are the premier HBCU. So Jamal, how you watched the whole National Signing Day announcement? How do you feel now about the work that the coaching staff did?
I think the coaching staff are basically staying the same. They like to recruit. I know the coaching staff. They like to recruit. We really don't deal too much with transfers. Last year was actually probably the most transfers A&T has probably had. Right. So I looked at some of the guys' highlight tapes that they got. So they look all right. They just like to build their guys up.
So we got definitely we had a emphasis on the secondary this year.
Yes.
Anybody watch A&T football know we were struggling in that department. And I know, hey Jamal, that had to hurt your heart. Tell me, be honest, that hurt your heart last year.
It did. Me and Tamadre were talking about it almost every Saturday.
And you guys are proud. And like I say, you guys established. Like I say, that back in 2017, 18, there wasn't a lot of wins for the offense with you guys out there, and then to see that kind of just collapse and have so many struggles in 2018. 2021, that probably embarrassed Coach Washington more than anybody.
Oh, he hates it. I never forget. I think in 2016, nobody in the secondary made all conference, and he hated that. Like, I'll never forget that. And I know he hated probably way worse last year because they was way worse than us in 2016. So I know he.
And so we got two transfers. One from South Carolina, Craig?
Well, really from Kansas. He never played in South Carolina.
Right. Karan Prunty, and he was a freshman All-American. And then we got Mario Love Jr., who had a cup of coffee at North Carolina State, and he's here. And I think there's another guy we might be bringing in pretty soon. Yeah. I saw he made a commitment. Was that from Wake Forest?
No, East Carolina. David Langley. Yeah,
Langley. Yeah. So I think the reinforcements are coming. But just tell me, so when you were out there, you played a little bit of strong safety and free safety, correct?
Man, I played everything wherever they needed me at.
All right.
Go ahead.
So let's start the whole process. You got the A&T. Tell me about, because we talked about National Signing Day. So tell me, how did the whole recruiting and everything go, and then how did you even wind up at A&T?
I actually had a lot of schools recruiting me. I took my official visit at A&T, and I just fell in love. It was just me. Like, I didn't want to go anywhere else. Actually, FAM was recruiting me hard too, but I just won't feel in FAM. Also, I researched Coach Broadway. I researched every coach that was recruiting me and seeing who won the most championships, and it was Coach Broadway. So, that really was a big part of my decision. As far as me getting there on signing day, what happened? That was a long time ago. I feel old. Oh, yeah, I had my official visit, committed that day, signed there, and then we went there over the summer and started building up to try to be a good team.
And so you played at Hoke County?
Yes.
And so, Craig, is that the same high school as the legendary George Small?
Yes, sir.
I'm an assistant coach now. I was under him. He the head coach back at Hoke County again.
Right now?
Yep, right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're coaching too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What position are you coaching?
DBs. I'm the DC.
Oh man, okay. Oh hell, that's all right. That's all right. I gotta watch some Hope County football now. That's great. So you were at Hope. So you were at Hope County, and A&T reached out. They wanted to bring you in. Did Coach Broadway and Coach Washington tell you about the scheme while you were getting recruited?
Not much. Coach Wash. I was mainly talking to Coach Wash and Coach Gibbs because they recruited my area. But I don't think I don't remember them telling me much about the scheme. They just wanted me bad. You could just tell they wanted me bad, like just the way they acted. So
you got to A&T, and I guess your first year you kind of redshirted pretty much.
No, I actually played my first year. I ain't start, but I played special teams, mainly special teams. Got a couple reps in at free. Because one of the safeties we had, he quit. He ended up quitting, so they had to move me up to second string. I was supposed to redshirt, but I had to hop right in there.
Oh, so they burnt your red shirt because they need you out there.
Yep.
And so people who don't understand like the A&T like defensive philosophy, when you guys on the back end, your main job is just obviously don't get anybody past you. You got to stay deeper than the deepest, right?
Pretty much. I mean, it a lot of people don't understand football, so I don't know how to explain it for people to understand, but it depends on the routes. That's all it depends on.
Okay.
For example, if I get a dig route, I'm driving on that, and the corner will have the deepest of the deepest.
Right. And so is there any communication on the field, or is there already this stuff y'all worked out in practice? Everybody knows their assignment.
Everybody knows their assignment. So that's why if you don't know your assignment, you can't play. We just reading the receivers. Whatever the receivers do, that's how we go off of it.
And so you and that corner are pretty much married as far as y'all both know. I got this guy. We got this zone or whatever. It has to be that communication. All right. So, and like I said, we don't throw people under the bus, intentionally here, right? So in the most politically correct way, right? What do you think overall went wrong last year with the passing defense?
I think for one, you gotta look at it like they didn't have much experience as being in the A&T program for a long time. Right. Like for example, me, T-Mod, Mac, and I don't forget who was the rover. Well, Richie, he was we all had experience. Like the whole defense basically had experience of being like 2-year or 3-year starters. So we understood our assignment. As far as last year, I saw a whole bunch of freshmen out there. You had Najee Reams, where he didn't really he started, but he didn't really start for a long time. But he was great. He was probably the best DB out there.
Right.
Richie, he was coming off an injury, so he didn't really have a good year simply because of that injury. He can play. I think just that injuries kind of slowed him down. But as far as the corners, our corners got hurt. Amir missed a lot of games, so we was out there with a bunch of freshmen.
And what about DJ, man? Wasn't that the saddest thing, to only play 3 snaps and DJ Crossing, and he's out for the year with that concussion issue. So, like you say, we had weapons and we weren't able to use them almost the entire season. So that was terrible. But as far as the recruiting class we got now, do you think we can just make an immediate turnaround, like a complete 180 in 1 year, or is it going to be a work in progress?
I think it's going to be a work in progress.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's the truth.
I really think it's going to be a work in progress. I really don't. You can't come in and just. I don't think people understand. You can't really just come in and just understand the defense. Good. You could be a baller, but you got to understand the whole defense, not just your position.
So you're a coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say A&T's scheme is complicated, or is it, is it more complicated than other schemes, or is it do you have to be more cerebral?
Man, to me it ain't complicated, but I done deal with a lot of kids that don't know football. So I mean, it just depends on the person. I don't think the scheme is complicated at all. I know what they're calling, but I'm a football head, so I can't go off that.
Gotcha. So you hear that, Doug. So you feel how you feel now? He's saying it might not be just add water, even though we got these transfers.
I agree with that. You can't count on a recruiting class to come in and turn you around. I have total faith that we'll have a better season and that we'll perform better. I mean, football. I mean, nobody can predict football. That thing bounces, every which kind of way, and a lot of things happen this season that we didn't see coming. Not to mention coming off of being off of a year and not playing a season or a spring before that. So, again, be patient and watch the Aggies roll. We're still figuring out who our opponents are. So it's tough to say that we're not going to be successful when you don't know who you're playing, So let's wait and see. We'll put the football down there like we always do. I think we'll line up and we'll be competitive against whoever we play, just as competitive as we were early in the year. I always go back to the performance and some of the things we were able to do in the Duke game. And so anytime you look back and say, hey, man, we struggled parts of the year, there were times when we put the football down and pushed around the ACC opponent all the way down the field on multiple drives. So we showed that we got some talent, and we were young in that game. We put a lot of young talent on the field in that game. So, as I say, the sky's the limit. I got total faith in the coaching staff and their ability to steer us in the right direction, along with the leadership we have at the university. I think that is a key component to everything that we do on the field is still having some stable leadership, man. I think we'll look back 10 years from now in this period of time and say, man, we weathered that storm and we kept on rolling, and I don't think it matters what league we're in, who we're playing against. I just think that, we'll find a way to get it done. I think we're in a good spot.
All right, so Jamal, since we got you here, Doug, he made a nice little segue. He talked about the league we're in and uncertainty, right? I know you got some strong opinions, so this is the time to share them, right? Well, how did you feel as a former A&T football player when the news was made that we were going to the Big South Conference? So were you for, against, indifferent? What was your take on that?
Honestly, I already knew that we was gonna leave because I've already heard that the MEAC was crumbling.
Right.
So to say I was for or against it. I guess you could say I was against it. I played in the MEAC. I don't know. It's just something different. And I wanted them to go against Jackson State, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
So you know what? It felt like we left 1 year too soon. Like if we could have just had last year.
COVID.
I know COVID.
We had one more.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
No, I understand what you're saying though.
If we could have been like that crash course against Jackson State, those two trains meeting, that would have been something to see.
Yeah, that would definitely been good. But like I've heard the MEAC was crumbling. Now I hear that the Big South is crumbling.
Right. So,
I mean, we gotta go somewhere. So I really want them to go to the SWAC, but I doubt that's gonna happen.
So you're a proponent of HBCU football. You just like. Okay, I got you.
I love HBCUs going against each other. I mean, it's so much pride and tradition with HBCU football.
I dig it. What you got to say, Doug?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but so, I'm excited, man. Like, I think right now, Coach Washington, he was, like we said, he was embarrassed about what happened last year, especially him being a DB guy. And everybody I talk to tells me just how much of a guru, how much of a genius Coach Washington is when it comes to just breaking down defenses and stuff, and he knows he can tell you everything you need to do on the field. So I think he is like, I don't give a damn. That's not gonna happen on my watch no more. I'm gonna get everything I got so I can run my defense. So, do you think with like maybe having better cover guys that it will, allow Coach Washington to call different things? Do you think he probably has more resources than he had last year?
Oh yeah, he definitely calls different things when he knows he got guys that can do it. I've experienced it. He said sometimes we can't call this because the linebacker is not going to do that. So I'm like, so I mean, he would definitely call different things. Also, I mean, I just think the guys need to take more chances. If you really look at the film, they were covering them, but they won't, for instance, dropping on the ball, going up to get the ball. They need to take more chances. It seems like they're playing scared out there.
All right, so let's talk a little football here. I got you. You're a DB coach.
Mm-hmm.
Do you teach your DBs to look for the ball when it's in the air, or do you play the receiver and when he's going up? Because I know there's a lot of different philosophies on that, And I got my opinions on it. But tell me, what in your opinion, what's the correct way to play like on like a fade route or something? What's the best way for a DB to play that ball?
Well, if you're talking about a fade, it depends what position the DB is in. I teach them the same. I teach them everything Coach White taught me. Honestly.
Okay.
So if you see the ball, go up and get it. But if you don't see the ball, go ahead and once he do this, go ahead and shoot the hands. But if we're in zone, I want all my DBs to see the ball thrown. That means you can react to it faster. But if you're a man, of course, you're not going to be able to see the ball thrown because you're looking at your man. But I play a lot of zone, so I like this. I like my DBs to see the ball thrown. Same thing with Coach Wash. Coach Wash wanted us to see the ball thrown so we can go ahead and drive on it. Like I said, it seems like they're playing scared out there. It seems like they wait till the receiver catch the ball and then tackle them. They're scared to get double move, as opposed to when I was playing. Look, we was going to get the ball. You see, Mac had like 8 picks in 2 years. That's because he was driving on everything. Was he getting double moved? Yes. Was T-Mike double moved? Yes. Was I getting double moved? Yes. But it didn't matter because you're not going to double move us every single play.
But see, you said some names though. You were back there and you had Mac to cover, one side of the field. You had T-Mod on the other side. And I guess Richie was sometimes a rover, whoever y'all had back there. That's some heat. Maybe it's a deal with the guys just don't, trust being on the island right now. Maybe they don't feel like somebody's gonna have their back if they give up some space. I don't know.
See, that's the thing. That's what's going on with trusting your defense and knowing your assignment. If you know your assignment, you know somebody's gonna be over top of you. Or sometimes they ain't gonna be over top of you. You just gotta trust your read. It just seems like they're not trusting their read.
Was Howard your DB coach when you were there?
When Coach Wash became head coach, yes.
So okay. So Howard is a much maligned guy on Blue Death Valley. Tell me some good things about Coach Howard. Tell me that everybody thinks that he's don't know what he's doing. So kill that noise. Tell me some things that Coach Howard has taught you.
People say that he don't know what he's doing.
Yes, some people.
Yeah,
some people.
I don't want to say he's a young Coach Wash, but he basically is. He knows everything.
There you go.
And he brings a lot of energy. He knows how to hype the guys up, and he knows how to teach them. So I don't know why people think that. Look, you can coach everything. You can teach your players everything. It's up to them to do it.
Right.
So they need to go ahead and kill that noise. Coach Howard know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Right. And I've been on record. I think Coach Courtney Cord, man, he's going to be a head coach here pretty soon. I mean, I love everything about the guy, the way he coaches, the way he teaches. I see him on the sideline, and there'd be some adversity, and he's just calm, breaking down. He has energy, but he's still just letting the guys know this is going to be our adjustments. So what was it like playing under Coach Cord, man?
It was very, very different.
Okay.
He's a little intense.
I'm not gonna say he's not a good coach. But me and Coach Cord, we had a bunch of disagreements. Simply because I was used to Coach Wash.
Gotcha.
And then with Coach Cord coming in, with it being my last year and we all seniors, we had a bunch of disagreements about what we.
So in your senior year, you actually won the HBCU National Championship Celebration Bowl. So tell me, how did you guys deal with some of those bumps and bruises to get past all that and focus on the ultimate goal? What was that process like?
I don't know how to answer that, man. I mean, we just stayed the course, because we were supposed to go undefeated again, but. Right. Who do we lose to? Morgan State. We lost to Morgan State. We just stayed, of course, we got to stay 1 week. We lost to Morgan State because we took them lightly. That's honestly, we just took them lightly. Yeah. And I didn't think we was calling the right plays on the defense, but I wasn't defensive coordinator, so it don't matter.
Hey, I got you, man. Hey, I asked for some honesty here. So
also lost to FAMU. We really thought this season was over when we lost to FAMU. But
I didn't, because I told you on social media, I said we're going to still run the table. I told everybody who could hear me that I know that all you had to do was just kind of make a few adjustments, and there was nobody's going to beat y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it was just bad timing, man. It was just bad timing. And a lot of plays didn't go our way those 2 games, and I think we both lost them on ending field goals. So it was just.
Now the Morgan game was at Morgan, right?
No, it was home.
That was the home Morgan game, the night game.
Both of those games were home, actually.
No.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, and then we because that was when Lamar
we lost to Morgan at home.
Right. And then we played
soccer. Fam at home. We were up 21-6.
Yep. And then they came back and bled the clock in the second half. Yeah.
Hey, FAMU was running a little pick play across all the way down the field, and we had a bonehead 15-yard personal foul penalty on 4th and 6. No, they converted a 4th and short, 4th and 5. That wasn't on you, was it, Darden? That 4th and 5 look.
That was on
in the slot.
That was on
I was playing.
Man.
They had that.
Actually, it was Antoine Wilder. But
the headless horseman. Hold on, don't let me call. Hey, I got his phone number. I'm calling him up.
Hey, it was a bang play. It was a bang play.
But that goes to show you what I was saying earlier. Twan didn't know nothing. He was just playing.
He told us.
He said that too. He
didn't know nothing.
He said that too.
I think that's why some of our transfers didn't work last year, because they had no clue. As you seen Twan the next year, he was playing a lot better than he was that first year, because he started.
He took some heads off. He didn't do nothing else. He earned Samaj's nickname. He earned a nickname. But yeah, man, that was a tough one, man. Those 2 losses. I started thinking about the next year we lost to Morgan on the road at Morgan.
All right, so look, I'm gonna let you go because I know you got stuff to do. But check this out. I got you here. Let me ask you some tough questions. I softened you up. Now I got you comfortable. Let me ask you some tough questions.
All right.
Does A&T have a discipline issue, like a cultural discipline issue? Is there a problem with establishing discipline in the A&T football program?
Dang.
Come on, Jamal.
Say this. Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. When Coach Broadway was there, and we cannot forget about Coach Waltho.
Everybody says that name, Coach Waltho.
When those 2 was there, it was that the discipline just felt different. Like it ain't you ain't doing nothing around them. Like nothing.
Non-negotiable.
Like non-negotiable. But of course, Coach Broadway retired, and Walthall's gone. So I don't even know the new strength conditioning coach. I don't know how he is, but I do know that the first lift group is at 8:00, and I don't like that.
Why?
Because our first lift
early enough.
Our first lift group was at 5:30 a.m.
Okay.
I just feel like you letting them boys sleep in. I don't know. And I heard they not running as much as we used to. And we a speed team. Like, we ain't gonna overpower you. We a speed team, so we need to run. I don't know about all that, but hey, that's cool. But I just I don't think it's a discipline issue. I think it's just different. It's just different.
You think today's players don't have the same self-discipline as you guys might have? Could that be one of the issues?
I don't think that, because Carter believe when I played, we had a whole bunch of penalties on the field.
Right.
So I don't think it's that. It may be they don't really have a good leadership. That might be one of the problems, because if you think about it, who was the leader last year? Ron Hunt.
I've been trying to figure it out, man. Like, I'm not super embedded in the locker room, right? But
exactly. But you could tell the leaders out when you play. You could tell who the leaders are. But who was the leader last year? Nobody knows. I think it has something to do with leadership.
Were you part of that group that came at for homecoming and spoke to the guys in the locker room? Were you? Because I know.
No, I didn't come this homecoming.
You didn't come. Okay. Yeah, but you know what? Hey, so Doug, does he not remind you of Tony McRae? Just.
I thought about some of that earlier, even with Zach in his presence a little bit. They got some Tony McRae in them a little bit.
That's actually when I came to A&T, they because we had this like big brother system. He was my big brother. That's like my big brother. Like, that's my best friend. So that's why.
Hey, what kind of leader was Tony McRae? Because Tariq Cohen said he was the best leader he's ever played with.
Hey, I'm trying to compare to somebody in the NFL. I can't think of it. Okay, I don't want to compare him to Tom Brady, but I'm gonna compare him to Tom Brady.
Wow.
Yeah, he a different type of leader, man. Like, he the best leader ever, like, I've ever been with. If somebody new came in and he like, if he's still on the team, you gonna do it the Aggie way. You know how they used to say Tom used to make people do it the Patriot way.
Yeah.
Tony made people do it the Aggie way. Like, he a different type of leader. I don't know how to explain him.
We gotta have somebody like that on the roster right now. We gotta have somebody who's just going to make sure, especially with the defense, Blue Death defense has got to have standards that we are not going to, to play around with. We gonna uphold these standards no matter what. And hopefully there's somebody on the roster, man. I feel like I know these guys kind of got humbled last year. I think they had to do some soul searching, and this offseason has been a couple of phases, right? So phase one was just, I guess, the regroup, then phase two has been this recruiting period. And then we're going to start spring ball pretty soon. So what's your outlook for this year, man? You feel good? You want to make any bold predictions before we let you go?
Are we still? I don't even know. We still gonna be in the Big South?
We're in the Big South right now, but we got 5 teams and
for this year anyway.
For this year. And Craig might be breaking some news or giving some analysis later on. You gotta stay, check us out. But it's real fluid, right? It's real fluid. But so check us out. All the teams that beat us
are going.
The three teams that beat us, they're going, right? Hampton, Monmouth, and Kennesaw. And the only
so what's the problem? That's what I have. My question is, everybody. What's the problem?
No. So we're gonna be like the preseason favorites. Probably.
Are we not still in FCS? Are we an FCS football program or not?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So I don't care what conference we in. We still gonna schedule people. We gonna play. Yeah. And as of right now, we have a greater chance of going to the playoffs. Those are all positives for me. I'm not worried about the profile of the conference. We are A&T. We are our own profile, and wherever we go, we make the place better. So that's my stance on it. Now, I have ties to the MAC and would like to see certain games scheduled, which we can still accomplish. Yeah. We've done a good job of scheduling games, not just FCS games, but FBS games. Yeah. Not to mention the few W's we got, thanks Jamal, of playing against some of those FBS teams. And they happen to fall in a certain range or ranking of FBS teams. So that's credit to the athletic department for outstanding scheduling, and credit to the program for actually getting it done on the field. So we're in good hands, friends. And Samaj, you make sure you rehash this conversation 3 years from now when we sitting pretty. All right.
I got you. So lastly, give me some bold predictions for this year, Jamal. Tell me something good.
Okay, I got us winning the conference, of course.
Okay.
That's only if we in the Big South for now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. The CAA, I don't know about that one.
That's some monsters out there, right?
I ain't gonna say monsters, but that's a tough conference. I'm gonna just say
it is.
Yeah, it's loaded. It's loaded. It's loaded. Yeah. But so we're in the Big South. You think we can win that?
We can win that easily. We should win that easily.
Go
win that easily. We're gonna have probably 2 out of conference wins. I'll give it maybe 7-4, 8-3. I got us winning a playoff game though. I got us game.
That's awesome. Like, so let me take you to week 2 of 2022, right? We get on the plane, right? We travel to Fargo, North Dakota. We play North Dakota State. Give me the ideal game plan. You know, Coach Washington, he makes a phone call to Coach Small and say, "Look, I need to borrow your defensive coordinator for one game, right?" And so they loan you to A&T for one game. You run the defense. What's the perfect scheme to slow down North Dakota State?
Oh, that's a good question. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good question. I'll probably stack the box. North Dakota State, they're like, what team can I compare it to? They're like Georgia. They're gonna run the ball, man. They ain't
some big boys.
They ain't gonna run the ball. They're gonna run power. Every time I watch North Dakota State, it's boring because they're running the ball. They might pass it every now and then, but look, they're gonna run that ball. I'm gonna stack the box, make sure plug every hole, and look, corners just gonna have to do them. North Dakota State, they ain't got no receivers that's gonna scare me at all.
Right.
So the corners gonna have to hold their own. We supposedly got big name corners from other schools, so they're gonna have to hold their own.
Okay. We think about that, Craig. Is that a good game plan?
It's sound. It's sound. It's sound in every respect. He's exactly right. North Dakota State is not going to try to come out and do any razzle dazzle. We're not going. They're not going to put the ball up 40 times a game. They're going to run it down your damn throat. That's what they're going to do. They're going to line up theirs against yours, and they're going to pound on you and pound on you and pound on you with that big fullback they've got 44, and they're going to and that's what they do. That's what they do. If you watch them during the playoffs, they take all your turnovers and they make you pay for them. They're really good at doing that. They will make you pay. If you turn the ball over, they'll light you up.
We got to play clean, definitely.
You got to
football.
Got to.
Yeah. So we're gonna let you go, Jamal. This has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming out, man. What's Hope football looking like in next year? You got some seniors gonna make some noise.
I'm actually leaving Hope and going to a different school to be the DC, man.
So you're going from being defensive the backs coach to actually the coordinator. You're gonna be a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
All right. Can you announce what school? Is that still?
I was at Douglasburg High School.
Douglasburg. Okay.
All right.
How many A's is that? How many A's is that?
3A.
That's 3A. Okay. Oh, thanks. So y'all might face Dudley in the playoffs, maybe if all things go well.
Dudley different.
Very.
Hey, Dudley should be 4A, man. I don't know how they scheme themselves down to 3A, but it's all good. Hey, so thank you for coming out, man. You're the third Kappa we had on here. We talked to everybody we talked to almost everybody in the whole 4K crew, except for the barber and the guy who played basketball. There's only two members we're missing. So
y'all definitely gotta get Amari up here, man. He got a lot of basketball insight. Trust me.
Listen, Amari and Craig, I don't know if you remember this. He had the single greatest shooting performance in A&T history.
Yep.
Jamal against Delaware State. He did not miss. He got in the game midway through the first quarter, and they could not take his ass out because he was just shooting everything. He was like 17 for 17. It was ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I don't care where you go. You can always say I had the greatest shooting performance in A&T basketball history, and that's the God honest truth. Yeah. All right. Oh, give me somebody better.
Who are you?
Steve Rush.
Okay, I was making sure. I didn't hear the name.
Amari.
Listen,
Amari did not miss. Jamal, did he miss?
Nah, he didn't.
He did not miss. Steve Rush had a couple that planked off. This dude was in a zone.
Okay, I was going to throw the Steve Rush DePaul game. He gave 40 to DePaul, I think, on the road at DePaul.
If they would have put Amari in sooner, he would have had 50.
He had a good game. Okay,
he did not miss.
And okay, now, all right. I just want to throw it out there because you said scoring Kappas, so I gotta represent my boy too. All right.
Hey, real quick, Jamal, did you run track in high school? You ran a little track?
Yeah.
So give me a quick. What is your take on this damn A&T track program? What the hell? How is this possible?
Hey, when I first got there, they told me about the coach. He like a legend. Like he's why. He gotta be why. He a legend. I ain't know he was an Olympian, signed to Nike. I ain't know none of that.
He's doing this without like NIL money. Like that, I don't understand, but this is a cheat code. Whatever he's doing, they need to put it in the bottom.
Greatest stories in college sports.
Track really don't matter.
Yeah, it really is.
I hope that it gets even more national attention because it
run fast. They'll be all right.
Right. All right, man. So Jamal, don't be a stranger. We're gonna bring you back during the seasons to give some of that truthful analysis. Because I like the way you're a straight shooter. You know, you say what's on your mind. You don't care if you step on a couple toes, but I appreciate it. And we definitely gonna be watching. See, you say Douglasville or Douglas?
Douglasburg.
Douglasburg. All right. What's your mascot?
It's a bird, eagle.
The bird, eagle. Yeah. The bird.
Oh, Douglas
Bird.
Douglas Byrd. So it's Byrd High School in Douglas, North Carolina.
Fayetteville.
You know he's not from around here.
Yeah, you can tell he's from Texas.
I wonder how. Yeah, I don't know all this. I know 71st. Is 71st a school? Is 71st a school?
We right down the street.
Okay. All right.
That's our rival, actually.
All right. So Douglas Byrd Eagles. All right. I'm gonna check y'all out. I'm gonna see what that defense looking like. I'm gonna have something to say on Twitter if y'all start getting worked.
That's cool.
I'll say something. All right, man. Hey, don't be a stranger, man. Thank you so much for coming down on short notice, man. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you for having me.
All right, take care, bro.
Thanks, man.
All
right.
Good luck.
Oh man, that was 2 heavyweights in 1 hour, man. This the best way to get that Blue Death After Dark back rolling, man. So Zach Leslie, a current player, and Jamal Darden, former player, both had some great insight on what we can expect in 2022. But Craig, we're kind of behind schedule. It's 9:30. We gotta get back on this list. So
okay, we touched on Karan Prunty, and so we know what he brings to the table. Mario Love from NC State, 3-star guy, had 17, 18 schools trying to recruit him.
Yes.
He's a player, real fast kid. Ain't the biggest guy in the world, but he's got great technique, and he can run with people. As Coach Washington would say, he can run. He's got that speed that you need if you're gonna play man. If you're gonna play a lot of man to man. And we talked about Jonathan Campbell, who's a rover, is coming in. I want to turn the attention to from the defensive backs to what I thought was probably the best group of young linemen I've seen us bring in. Like I said before, since Bill Hayes' days, since Bill Hayes was coach. Very, very, very reminiscent of the 1990 group that he brought in. And Coach Washington and Coach Cord did a real good job evaluating talent. They got 3 really good down interior tackles that I'll put up against anybody's recruiting class. People talk about Jackson State and all, but they're living and dying by transfers down there.
Craig, how long is that going to be sustainable? What they're doing in Jackson?
Couple years.
Leon's there.
Yeah. Once he leaves, it's going down the toilet. Yeah, that's my honest opinion. I think it's name recognition is getting it, and there's something to be said about it. He's a great pitch man. He's a great salesman, no question about it. I mean, Subway commercials, had me going picking up a Subway earlier today.
I don't eat that healthy.
But the problem is when the rubber hits the road, and we saw that in Celebration Bowl. When it comes to X's and O's,
and what's my saying? What's my saying, Doug? Football is football. All that other stuff goes out the window when you line up.
I'm interested to see what and I'm not sure how everything's going to shake out with the COVID situation and kids being allowed to come back to school and play longer. But I'll be interested to see what they do in the classroom and to see how that affects who's able to play, how it affects their APR, all that stuff, man. That stuff will come back and get you down in the long run. And I don't know if things might be a little more loose now. I haven't been as locked in on it, but we'll see, man. I'm one of the guys that was on board saying that I thought South Carolina State had a good chance to beat them. Just based off the brand of football they play, and just knowing what all the stuff that led up to the game, having those 3 weeks, having time to prepare. I'm just as confident we would have stepped in there and could have done the same thing. South Carolina State, obviously a team that we beat along with Central. So, I'm just as confident we could have stepped in there and won that game, and everybody would be on cloud nine like we always are come mid-December. But man, we'll see. I think it's important whoever the next hire is. I'm always thinking about the next hire, the next chancellor, the next person in administration, the next AD. Those are the big decisions that make a difference on, longevity and continuity, man.
Well, I thought
one bad hire can see you down the drain, or bad hire or one bad fire. Remember that, Eddie fans.
Yeah, you're right. I thought the plan was for Jackson State to put TC Taylor as like the heir apparent, but I think they got a new offensive coordinator.
I'm not arguing that. I don't think that move was to affect TC's situation. I think that move is to help Coach Prime's situation. If you're Coach Prime and you're serious about coaching and you want to coach on the next level or on another level down the road, are you able to take the current Jackson State staff you have right now and go to another school and that be the staff that school is going to accept? Or do you need a coordinator who has experience calling plays on another level?
Okay, that might be it. All right, but enough about Jackson State. Let's get back to A&T, Craig. Who else we got?
Okay, the three big kids that I thought was the really reason one reason other than having any experience in the secondary. I thought our defense fell off last year is because we didn't have size in the middle. We got nothing. We had no push up front in the interior. Our ends played fine, right. But it was our tackles. We were just too light in the pants.
Is Pringle still coming back?
Pringle's back.
Okay, I like Pringle. I like Pringle.
Pringle. Yeah. But we had to get bigger. There was no question about that. We had to get bigger at the tackle spots, and we got a Xavier Fields from out of Wendell.
Ooh, that's a big boy. That's a big 6
he is
300.
Yeah, he's 6'1", 300 pounds. Saw him first time I saw him live was at the North Carolina South Carolina game down in Charlotte. That kid is a monster. They couldn't block him, and South Carolina had three or four-star kids playing in that offensive line, and could nobody handle it. He's a bull. He's a bull in the china shop. He's gonna play. We got the top defensive player out of the state of Virginia. Caleb Jones. He's another one. Around the same size, around 6'1". He's a little bit heavier. He's probably around 310, 315 or so. Played at the same Oscar Smith program. When I looked at him, when I saw him, I said, yeah, let's see what this kid can do. I looked at his film, and his first step is incredible. He has a way of shedding people, and they play against some pretty big kids up there. It's not like you got a 300-pound kid playing on a 180-pound guy trying to play offensive guard. He's playing against other 300-pounders, and he was shedding those guys like crazy. I see why he was the state's player of the year. Two-time All-State. He's tough. And homeboy, we got one right over here at Dudley, and I was praying that Jaheim Pittman would stay at home. I was praying if there was one guy. When I looked at Dudley's team last year, their state championship team, if there was one guy that I wanted off that team, it was him, and we got him. The sky's the limit on him. He's good.
And see, Doug,
I know you going to go ahead.
No, you're wrong because it's all positive. But I had thought that this guy was out of our reach. I thought he was like a Carolina guy.
Yeah, I thought NC State was going to get him.
I was like, some guys you look kind of like Travis Shaw and all like that, and I was like, I don't want to hear it. Just don't even get my hopes up, right? So I thought Pittman. When I was looking at his film and then I saw some stuff on social media of who the guys were recruiting, I was like, okay, well, who else they got? Because we ain't getting him. So when we actually got him, number one, I think that shut up a lot of people on Blue Death Valley who said that A&T. When I say a lot of people talk about the dude with the 891 on his hat right now, who was saying that A&T does not do a great job of recruiting locally.
That's what I said. I know what you were gonna say.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know me too well. Like you guys, like listen, you guys like my closest buds. We don't talk like every 4 months until we do a podcast, but we're synced in. Like so you know, I've been in the streets. You know, I go to a lot of high school football. I talk to parents, whatever, and the word was like, you know, A&T is not showing love to Greensboro kids, right or wrong. That was the narrative, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I think with this guy Pittman, they saying, hey, we gave you, we're taking a native son, we recruited him hard, we took him from some other places that he probably could have gone, and you know, I think that answered a lot of some of those concerns. But yeah, he's a player too, man.
I can relate. I understand.
The one thing I love about Pittman, he's a pass rusher. He's a big guy who can pass rush from the interior, and those are hard to find. You can find defensive ends, but most of the down linemen that are great pass rushers who are big tackles usually end up at places like Georgia and Alabama. This kid is 6'2", 295. He's a monster. I mean, he's got a motor. He's scary good, and we are extremely fortunate to get him in here.
And as they say, he's a dog. You know, as the boys like to say. Man, shout out Coach Davis and his staff over there. Man, they do a great job, and I mean, I got a chance to witness it firsthand. Man, those guys are always working. So you already know what you're getting. You know the work ethic you're gonna get from the kid when he shows up on campus. And I love to see local kids sign for sure. But he comes with a motor already, you know, and I'm sure he knows what they expect, and to be able to play down the street and know coaches close by and is gonna be watching you too, man. That's awesome, man. It's gonna be a good time for him.
So you know they didn't put this on the initial announcement list, but you know we got I think Stephen Davis Jr., the coach's son. He's a really highly touted cornerback in his own right, and he I think is going to be a preferred walk on.
Preferred walk on. They're probably going to use him at safety.
And he's like a 6 foot. He's not 6.
Yeah, about 6 foot. 6 feet. About 170 pounds or so.
He got to put some weight on to play, to play the next level. But he can't
get that Davis weight on him. He's gonna get that Davis girth on him.
And then we actually got I believe still last time I heard we got Quad Monroe, who played at Dudley about 2 years ago, went to Morgan State. Right after college, out of high school, and then he was in the recruiting portal, transfer portal, came here. So I think he's going to be another addition. He's a Dudley guy. So Quad Monroe and his brother, his brother's like one of the best track stars. Actually, his brother, I believe, signed with us.
He'll be. So one of the best in the country.
It's going to be a family affair with the Monroe. Yeah, so man, that's great. So like I say, the hometown argument had got kind of put to rest a little bit this recruiting cycle.
It is, and it's tough, man. You know, as much as you want hometown kids, and it's not always a deep pool of hometown kids, or you have to recruit to your needs. I mean, there's only so many scholarships, and there's only so many resources. And I had the same complaints when I was in school. Like, Dad, I ain't heard nothing from A&T, and blah blah. And I had to learn. We might not have the resources to hit out and hit everybody back in the day. But now with social media, man, you know, these guys are willing and dealing. They're just as savvy and good as recruiting those ways as anybody else. So I'm not surprised to get a kid like that from right in our backyard. We have that ability to retain kids here, man. We have Ron Hunt was a local kid. You know, we usually have, you know, a few on the roster, you know, whether they are, you know, our signature guy or not, we always have some hometown kids on. Mac McCain, come on now. When we get them, we get the right ones, man. I always say, you know, our recruit, we always get the right ones.
All right, so we got Pittman. Who else we got?
We brought in a couple smaller tackles who I like to call sprint tackles because they are really good at running from sideline to sideline. Their lateral speed, and a lot of times these are pursuit guys on that back side that come off the back side. Chris Abraham from Cotts Mill high school down in Concord, 6'2", 270. Got a good body type. He's going to add weight, and his body type will add weight. I can see him in a couple of years being probably around 285, 290 without too much difficulty. He has a large frame. Chris Allen is one of those guys who can play either inside or outside. He's from Wake Forest High School down in Wake Forest, North Carolina, right around the Raleigh area. We were lucky to get him. He's a 3-star. We were lucky to get him because he has some FBS offers, and he's decided A&T is probably the best fit for him. 6'4", 270. He can play either in or tackle, and it's always good to have a guy who can switch up, and you can plug him in where you need him, especially with all the injuries we had last year. So those kids may not necessarily play right away. You can't never tell until you actually get them here on campus. But those two are going to be good for depth.
I from what I've seen, if how many defensive tackles did we get all together?
5. We brought in 5. 5 defensive tackles and 1 defensive end. Tyshawn Bullock.
Yeah, I like that guy. Cox Mill too.
From Cox Mill.
Yeah.
He plays with an edge. He's nasty.
Okay, look. So here's my prediction. Because Bullock's on campus, he's already on campus. Him and both the Cox Mill guys must be real smart.
They graduated early, so they're going to be in spring ball. They're going to be here in spring ball.
They're in the weight room. I would not be surprised if Bullock gets some run this year as a true freshman.
Yeah,
and that damn Xavier, what's his name?
Xavier Fields.
That's a monster. So I don't if he looks like, unless that's some serious graphic design Photoshop, like that's one of those surrender your lunch money type guys, because he looks like a brawler. So I think Fields and I think Bullock, just my gut reaction, they got a chance to contribute. Everybody else, I want to give everybody pause in Aggie land. True freshmen are true freshmen for a reason. They were in high school last year. It's especially in the Big South, it was a little more parity than the MEAC. It is hard to make that contribution, that quick jump as a true freshman. So give these guys a chance to develop, eat, get in the weight room, and in 2023, hopefully they can be ready to do something. You disagree, Doug, or you concur?
Oh no, I'm all for that. Yeah. I'm thinking about the guys that we didn't give a chance to develop.
You know what?
We're giving this disclaimer now, but are you going to get a guy a chance to develop?
Hey, some of those guys are getting run out of there because they got thrown to the fire maybe too soon. And I'm thinking
I'm not talking about the coaching staff giving them a chance to develop. You're pleading for Aggie Nation to give the young kids a chance to develop, right?
No. Not two. I like to be the voice sometimes of A&T fans. To our defense, if you put somebody on the field, they're a college football player. So the coaches have to decide that you are worthy to get on the field. I don't care how many injuries, whatever. If you put a player on the field, I'm going to evaluate him like a football player. So if he don't get on the field, then you have all the kid gloves and all you want. I'm very understanding. If he needs the red shirt, if he needs to get in the weight room. But if you, as a coach, say you can play a college football game, then I'm going to evaluate you as a college football player. And if you are playing secondary,
we just heard Jamal Darden say that he had every intention on red shirting, and due to
what did he do? He stepped up and he produced. And nobody was bashing Jamaal Darden when he was a true freshman because he played.
You didn't even know he played his true freshman year. We thought he redshirted.
That's a good sign. If I don't know who you are,
you point out the fact of the guys he was surrounded with.
Hey,
he was surrounded with a lot of talent.
There were 3 or 4 freshmen who I know their name because not for good things.
He named 3 guys.
Yeah,
and we gave him credit for the talent that was surrounding him, and didn't even mention the guys that was on the D line that's playing in the NFL right now that helped out with that pass rush that helped the secondary play as well. You know, it all works together. But shout out to Jamal Darden, man. Hey, he did his thing when he was out there. I'm not taking anything away from what he did when he was out there. But we have to look at the whole picture, man, for sure.
So how many more names you got there, Craig? Because we're gonna open this up to some fans.
That's about it. We brought in a long snapper, Bryson Reddy. We brought him in. Came out of Don Horner's kicking camp, which is probably the number one kicking camp in the country. And he was rated the top long snapper that come out of that December camp. And he's from Glen Allen, Virginia, and so he's going to be in. There's going to be some stiff competition at the long snapper position because we've got a couple of kids. We got a local kid who's North Carolina kid who's my wife's cousin by marriage. But anyway, we're all family anyway. But so we'll see how that competition goes in the spring.
Okay, so
hold on before we move on. Let's not let that slide either, because on our last show there were questions as to who was our special teams coach and what we were doing special teams wise. You even brought up the fact that we lost some kids in the transfer portal. Look at how we addressed that by going to get a long snapper, a quality one, and you got John Davis who's going to play in the All-Star game for his skills in long snapping, and then you go out and get a quality punter to add to your kicking game.
Right.
Yeah.
Credit to the coaching staff for addressing those needs. Right.
I was surprised by the punter. I did not see that coming. I thought we was going to stay in pat with that. So I was surprised.
He can do some things. So we know that's a big part of the game, man. So
you got to win the kicking game, because if you don't have a solid kicking game, you're going to lose those close ones. I guarantee you're going to lose those close
questions. I mean, whether or not we go on to be as good as, and we're talking about, we had the Ruiz when Ruiz left, so our kicking department has lost some talent, right? And we replace it, and it's still been, Mr. Brown here. Hey, he got off to an early start and had some trouble there in the middle. But are we going to argue his talent? Nope. I'll take him. We saw what Ruiz did, after he had a chance to get some more kicks under his belt. So I like it, man.
And Mike Rivers, I saw he posted something. He's at San Jose State this year. Yeah. All right, so look, everybody, real quick, we're gonna go for about 20, 25 more minutes here to wrap up everything. But if you want to join the conversation, we try to do like a little call-in thing, but I messed that up. I couldn't get it working. So if you want to just join us on this little live feed, go to BlueDeathValley.com, go to the fan forum, and in the A&T football forum, there's a thread called Back by Popular Demand, Blue Death After Dark. And if you go in there, I know there's a lot of steps, but if you go in there, I'll make you guys work for it. There's a link to this live stream. And if you got something intelligent to say, we might add you in here. So Aggie Blackie, that means you need to sit this one out, because we heard enough for you for a while. But seriously, anybody, Aggie Blackie included, anybody wants to join the conversation, give their thoughts on the recruiting cycle or the Big South. We want to talk to the fans this last part of the show. Okay, so guys, we went through the list, and like I said, that link is in the fan forum in the Back by Popular Demand board. But guys, we went through the list. So Doug, let's start with you. We don't. It's silly to give grades, right? It's
It is. I don't believe in giving grades.
Coach Washington, he said that they are not done. He said they got like 6 or 7 more.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said that, but I think that was a number I heard, that 6 or 7 more scholarships they're trying to fulfill, and because of this whole transfer portal, it's a new normal, and you got to recruit
it's
differently.
Totally different.
All right, so but I hate to move the goalpost, because Doug, at the end of the season, we said a couple of things. We said we got to get better at secondary, and we got to get better. We got to improve our quarterback
defensive
play
line
and the line on the line of scrimmage. So Doug, you start. How does the 14 guys announced address that, and what else would you like to see coming down the pike?
Well, like I said, I'm always looking for us to get bigger, faster, stronger. I think you can improve in that area no matter how you finish the season. And
Right.
so when I look at the list and I, look at guys, number one, I think we checked a few boxes. We are bigger, faster, stronger. Gotta love the beef up front on the D line. Gotta love the playmaking ability of some of the guys on the back end. I like the depth that we added to the quarterback room, and I also like the playmaking ability we added in the receiver room. I like the fact that we checked the local box for some of you guys. We checked the big splash player to make us feel like, hey, we are the best HBCU by getting Mr. Prunty and having a guy that had some national notoriety and had already had some accomplishments on, in the Big 12 and on a national stage. And I like the fact that we have kids that want to come to A&T, kids that stated, hey, I'm here because this feels like home. This feels like family. Not because of the coach, not because of the hype on social media, anything else. Because if you chose to come to A&T this year, after seeing us kind of have some struggles in the season, then it's because you want to be here and you believe in what we're doing. So again, we talked about how our staff went into, or our program went into kind of that bunker mentality, 0 dark 30. We hadn't heard much. And the moment, we kind of noticed we weren't hearing much, I said, oh, we good. The boys are working. They working. And Craig and I both know, we kind of track, kind of some of the guys that we're following or that we may be recruiting. And man, I got excited about some of the guys we were getting after. And I always look to see the offers that we're offering, the kids that we're recruiting, what their offers look like. And we're recruiting the right kids that fit our university, fit our academic profile for our university, because that's important as well. And also they have good character, man. These kids, from what I can see, because I dig a look at your character. I want to see your full game film.
Yeah.
How did you perform on plays when you weren't getting the ball or the ball wasn't going your way? Mm-hmm. What kind of character do you have, and how supportive is your family? Is your family, a part of this thing too? Because A&T is a family atmosphere, and boom, there it is. We did those things. I'm pleased with that.
Hey, do you think we happy? Do you think we adjusted? Do you think we adjusted for the Big South? Do you think this is a reflection of being in a new conference? This recruiting class.
Well, Craig talked about some of the bodies. I think that's some of the guys in D-line are some of the same body styles that we've had success with, and some of the same players. Yeah. That 6'1", 6'2", 270 guys that can run. We've had success with guys like that. We've had success with guys like the receiver from Virginia, undersized guys that are athletic in the slot. Yeah. Or athletic, that playmakers want to get the ball to. So we've even had stabs at athletic tight ends. You mentioned DeAndre Goodwin and a few other guys that we brought down from the lower lands area, the South Carolina area. We've had some bodies that we've tried to kind of a hybrid body, guys that could do different things on both sides of the ball. So I think that we fine-tuned our recruiting, I guess you could say. Like, there were some glaring needs in our eyes. I mean, I don't know what the coaching staff and what they saw needs were. We can think we know what they thought their needs were, but they have a good picture of, what's really going on. Who's not going to be here? Who is going to be here? Who may be here? Who do we have coming? Who have we not even let the public know that we're recruiting or we've got an eye on? So, this process isn't over. It's going to run through. I've seen guys show up the first week of camp, when I was playing. So, like, hey, who are you? Hey, nice to meet you, man. So, those guys are always working to have those wheels turning. So I expect a few more surprises, whether it's now or whether it's next week, whenever it may be in the summer. So, I'd like to encourage the recruits and the people who, have joined us now to keep their nose to the ground and go to work. Just whether you're here or not, work like you're here or work like you plan on starting in the fall,
Yeah. So Craig, what do you first of all, what was the highlight, your personal favorite or one or two guys from this class, and what is the remaining piece or pieces that we still need?
I think the thing that stood out to me was we made the moves to address the deficiencies in our interior line. We got bullied. I'll be perfectly honest with you. The kids that we had playing last year in defensive line played well when they were healthy, but when we lost one or two guys out for a week or 2 weeks, and then COVID protocols kicked in, we were pretty much screwed to the wall as far as our interior defense. That was the biggest thing that for me, that was priority. That was priority number one. I talked about that on our show before we had the Christmas break, that we had to get bigger, we had to get stronger and deeper in the interior, and that was, to me, was the number one priority. A lot of people were talking about a lot of people. The secondary was number two. And with the transfers that we brought in. Chris talked about that when he was on here, was experience level, and it wasn't necessarily so much about talent, but those kids were just green. They were green as grass back there in that secondary, and we need to get some guys in here who are older guys who played against competition, been in systems and against competition.
Prunty fits that mold because no
question.
He played at Big 12. He played against Oklahoma State, whatever, and he lived to tell about it. And he got high marks for his freshman year.
Yeah.
But because it was a COVID year, he still has 4 years of eligibility. So we got two transfer guys who still are like freshmen. They're like super.
Well, technically, they're freshmen, but
but I'm saying they're freshmen with experience.
But you're talking about 21-year-old guys now,
right?
Instead of 18-year-olds.
That makes a difference, man.
Makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference.
Even with Mario Love, even though he didn't actually get on the field at North Carolina State, just to be another year removed from high school. And just to be in that weight room and be in that program and seeing what a Power 5 atmosphere is like, that's only going to give him so much more confidence when he comes to A&T.
And then going against Power 5 receivers.
Teams, though, right?
Say again?
He got some special teams burned.
Yeah.
Did
he got on special teams? I don't know.
Yeah, he got in. I think he got in three games. But they were playing the same thing that all these colleges are doing with the red shirt rule. You play him 3 or 4 games and that's it.
Okay. I thought he had a scoop and score. I think he got a scoop and score for punt block or something.
Man, if he had a scoop and score, I want you to post that because I need to.
I didn't run across it, but
we talking about Mario Love Jr. If he had a scoop and score, somebody please send that.
Shout out Mario Love Jr.
Yeah, Mario, if you're watching this on Twitter, shoot us that video of you.
But he's gonna, and depending, we still don't know exactly what DJ Cross's situation is going to be long term, for sure. But my instincts tell me that he'll probably play, but we recruited as though he would not be back.
Yeah, I heard.
I think that was a smart move to make.
I heard some bad. Well, I don't know if it's news, but I just heard some bad rumors on that front. So
and I'm interested to see what the Laney that we're getting from East Carolina. I watched his film earlier this morning over coffee, and I watching his film from ECU, his high school film. This is a kid who will have 4 years here too. He's impressive as a safety, as a true free safety. He is a true free safety. He's a natural free safety.
Oh, so you're saying we can put Laney, Love, Prunty, and maybe even McNeil, in some passing downs. On the field at the same time.
I think McNeil is in. If McNeil is completely healthy, I think he starts. Where he starts, where McNeil starts in that secondary, I'll leave that up to the coaches to make that determination. Yeah. But you don't take a 5th-year guy who plays like he does with the intensity that he does, with the love of the game that he plays. And even though sometimes he plays, he plays way over the top as far as, you were talking about leadership. He brings that to, because he comes every play. He doesn't take a day off. If I got to say nothing about him, he's the toughest little son of a bitch I've ever seen on a football field.
I remember we had the brace on his hand at Duke the first year.
Yeah,
he was knocking down balls with the other hand. So
I got nothing but respect for him. I got nothing but respect for the little kid.
Yeah.
As what we go from here.
Yeah.
It's got to go to the offense. I think we've addressed most of all of our concerns on defense. I can see us maybe adding maybe one or two guys as far as experience wise, maybe in the defensive front. I wouldn't be surprised if we picked up a defensive tackle in there. Pick up one or two defensive, one, I would say at least one defensive tackle in the portal. But I think the vast majority of what we got left to recruit's got to be on the offensive side of the ball. We have got to find a running back, because we don't have enough depth at that position. I think you need to have at least 4 running backs that you can go to.
All right. So let's name who we have coming back. We got Bashal Tootin, right?
Yeah.
We got Frederick Graves.
Yeah.
We got Frederick Graves, and then what was the other guy? There was 3 of them.
The kid from Georgia who redshirted this year.
Tall kid. What's his name?
Charlie Dixon.
Charlie Dixon.
Charlie Dixon. Yeah.
First name Charlie. All right. So we got those 3 guys. Hopefully, that was another part of the whole offseason plan. We got to retain. We can't have anybody go into that infamous AMT. Bermuda Triangle portal.
Oh yeah, disappear.
Yeah, we can't
disappear after spring practice.
Well, what was the running back we had last year? I was counting on, and he just disappeared out of the face of the earth. I don't know. But we had. Oh my Lord! Don't break my heart, Doug, like that. That kid from Wake Forest was a hoss. I mean, he was going to be the 1-2 punch with a healthy.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at the portal for a running back. I mean that's pretty common knowledge for anybody who really stays around the program.
So Bashal Tootin, let's say he's the starter, whatever. We still need a change of pace guy. I think a lot of people took Kashawn Baker for granted until the end of the season. Like, dang, it'd been great to have him for another year. So. And I miss him too. I want to get another little jitterbug out there who can take a 1-yard loss into a 6-yard gain somehow just by making 18 guys miss. So, and one thing that we don't do well, and this is for another extended topic for another show, Doug. We gotta improve on our screen game. We do not run screens very well. We have not for the last 2 years. We got to get back, because if you can't protect, which we had troubles with last year, the best friend for a porous offensive line is a good screen, a well-timed screenplay, and we
well-timed and called it a well-timed. That's the biggest thing. You got to call it at the right time.
You got to catch them, because you guys had who was your Michelle Hollingsworth?
Michelle Hollingsworth said that the longest touchdown reception off a screen until Mike Caldwell broke it years later at Morgan.
Was that against? At the time,
I think he went 90. It was against Norfolk State.
Against Norfolk State,
in 2005, and it was a screen pass it was like 95 yards or something like that, maybe 96 yards. Caldwell's longest reception was a 99-yard route from Herbert Miller, I think. Maybe no, it may have been from my guy. Gosh, I got his name just that fast, and I see him all the time. Anyway, he went 99 at Morgan and set the new record, so that hadn't been broken yet.
No, that was Shelton Morgan.
Shelton Morgan. I couldn't get it out.
Shelton Morgan.
That was a Shelton Morgan game right there.
Shelton Morgan's a big time principal. He's doing great things in the world of education. I forget
Shelton
where he's
Morgan.
at.
I can't believe I couldn't get that out. Shelton Morgan. Yep.
Shelton Morgan. Yep. So yeah, we got to improve that screen game. I think if and like I say, I think all the coaches kind of like circle that wagon. They're in the workshop, probably still getting the things right. Were you surprised, Craig, that Coach Washington apparently decided to bring the band back together? There was no additions or subtractions to the coaching staff since we last saw. Were you surprised by that?
Not at all. Not at all. Sam Washington is is very confident in the people that he has around him. That staff has been together for a long, long time. And
best in the business, Craig. Go ahead, Craig. I'm sorry.
And they understand. They are all on the same page. And if you're gonna, I know people have been comparing on the chat rooms and whatnot. That Coach Broadway, fired this guy, fired that guy, changed offensive coordinators 3 or 4 times. Well, you would expect that off of a new staff that you had just put together, charged with rebuilding a program. I can understand coaches making changes and getting what he needs to get in order to progress. But his staff, but when Coach Washington took over for Coach Broadway, that staff basically stayed intact, with the exception of Chip Hester going down to Barden as the AD and the head football coach. That essentially has been the same staff that carried over from the Broadway days. So, so it didn't surprise me that everybody stayed. I would have been surprised if he had made change.
What about you, Doug? You didn't anticipate any moves?
Not at all, man. And I'm glad that everybody's hanging around. I was actually hoping that guys would stay around and wouldn't take other opportunities, man. We've got some good coaches, and other schools won't. Our coaches, they know what we got going on the A&T. They know we're still the top dog in my book and in most people's book. But those guys, they're still young guys in my book, but they have a lot of coaching experience and have won a lot of ball games, man. They've been in some fires, and I trust in those guys, man, and I'm pleased with the job they've done here. We know what last year looked like as a fan, but you take that and you roll on and you go with the next year, because we are still in the best era of Aggie football, the most enjoyable, winningest era of Aggie football. We are still living in it, and I think that we're still in a great position. So I wasn't surprised to see any changes there, and I'm glad there weren't any changes. And I hate to see coaches leave. I'm telling y'all, man, I believe that this is truly an Aggie family. So I don't care if he was here 2 weeks. I hate to see people leave A&T, and I know people go and do other things, right, but I hate to see people leave, man. So I'm glad to see everybody back. Everybody that's coming back. We can pick up, where we left off from a couple years back.
I do want to see Coach Cord leave, though, and not in a bad sense, but I want that. I want that Broadway tree to continue to expand. I want people to look at it from 10, 15 years from now. Look at all the coaches, because you see, like on the NFL, they show all the coaches who coach with somebody and under somebody, and I want Broadway's legacy to continue to flourish, and I want Coach Cord to be running a program, a few years from now, and
we've got at least 3 head coaches on that staff at the moment.
Yeah. Who? Name. Give me this more.
I'll give you.
Well, obviously, Coach
you got the
Gibbs.
head man. Gibbs.
Yeah.
And Coach Washington, right?
Coach Gibbs was one of the finalists for the Winston-Salem State's job. So
I'm glad to have
what?
Still around.
And let me say something about Coach Gibbs. I think his fingerprints was on this recruiting class with those.
No doubt.
with those special teams guys, because I think he, if everybody was overlooking it, he said, no, we gotta have a lone snapper, just in case the guy we already got, he gets nicked up or something. We can't struggle in that department, and we gotta win the kicking game. And he made sure we went and got that punter. I know that was all him. I can tell you right now.
Man, those guys have they did a good job, man, and they're showing that they can get it done.
Right. So guys,
when it comes to recruiting, man, they're all in.
Yeah. Let me add one thing before we close out tonight.
Yeah.
People were talking about the offensive line and why the offensive line is, the offensive line wasn't this, the offensive line wasn't that. With the exception of 3 guys, that offensive line were all redshirt freshmen.
And Big Country. We got Big Country coming in too.
Yeah,
don't forget about him.
You got Big Country coming off a redshirt year. We got 4 kids coming off a redshirt years who were really, really good offensive linemen. But the thing about it is that offensive line last year was extremely young after you got past the starting 5 guys. And by the time the season ended, we had 3 freshmen starting. So that offensive line is going to be a lot better this year. Coach Mattis knows how to develop offensive linemen, and the last year was just a cluster for a lot of different reasons. A lot of things that we had no control over factored into it, and it was us. I know our fans are impatient; they're used to winning, but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you've been around football for any length of time, there are going to be years where things don't work the way you plan for it to. And after being off for 18 months, 5 and 6. Now I was disappointed in it, but I'm not hitting any panic buttons over it. And it was like Coach Hayes used to say, some years when I thought I had everything in place, we stunk the place up.
Yeah.
Other years when I thought we weren't going to do much of anything, we lit the place up.
Right.
So, you never know. You never know. But going into spring practice this year, I'm a lot more, I feel a lot better where we're going to be. And getting back into a weight training and strength training, having it without disruption now, I feel a lot better about what we're going to look like in this fall.
Hey, Doug, you got a homework assignment. You ready?
Ready.
Right, so find out the date of when spring camp starts. Because
date of the spring camp.
Because they don't talk to me no more. So I'm persona. I think I'm persona non grata.
It's usually the first week of March. Just about always the first week of March. So you're probably about 3 weeks away.
Okay, so if you find out, Doug, let everybody know. I know you still probably got some friendships on that side of the fence, man.
I've been 0 dark 32, man. I've been on the home front, man. I like to sit back at it.
Okay, so we gonna wrap up, but check this out, Doug. I've been looking at your whole new backdrop the whole night. I didn't want to interrupt Craig or you when y'all was giving y'all brilliant points, but you just remodeled your whole studio here. You got the Hall of Fame. You got the what's that, Doug Brown jersey behind you.
You got the jersey. You got the jersey frame. My high school coach, one of my coaches, got my jersey boxed up for me.
You got the Greensboro. You got the
4 up for sure.
You got to change that middle. You got to change that middle word though. You go ahead and change it to A&T 4.
See, this is a commemorative edition. Back when they they gave these out, the 30th anniversary. So this is how they gave it out. At the
I can dig it.
I don't think A&T was writing in the A&T 4 at that point.
At that point, you know who schooled me? You know who schooled me? Marching Band 69. Because he came on the board one year and he broke it down to why the preferred way to address those gentlemen was the A&T 4, and he gave a nice little history lesson on Blue Death Valley in one of the forums. I said, "Oh shit!" Oh shoot, you are you're right. We should call it ANT4. So I give him props for pulling my coat to that. But so hey, did you paint the room too? Is that a whole new color scheme?
It's a different set of different lighting.
Different lighting.
Man.
Okay, I got you.
We're still a work in progress, man. Half the room is still under construction. So this is my corner at the moment. So
okay,
we make it happen, man.
I love it. Craig still got the lamp and the artwork, and so So you say steady Eddie, consistent over there, looking great. Oh, by the way, so how was the holidays, New Year's? We ain't talked since November. So how was everything for you guys?
It was good. It was good. It's quiet. Quiet. You got quiet. A few friends and a few families, and just it was just a good all around holiday to get reacquainted with some folks we hadn't seen because of the COVID outbreak. So yeah, it was good.
And Doug, what was your final Christmas tree count? What did y'all end up with?
Man, I think we ended up with 5, of course.
No,
5 was the magic number, man.
5 Christmas trees, man.
Yeah, so
that's awesome. Well,
look,
bro. Hey, guys, I love spending this time with y'all. This is we gonna start cracking them out now. So now with football, it's once you have signing day, it's football season. It's the all season spring, but it's gonna be a lot of different benchmarks that we can look forward to. I think the next thing will be spring camp, and then like I say, I expect some names to start trickling in every week from now on.
We got some recruiting. We got some additional. Like I said, watch the offensive side of the ball because that's where it's coming from. That's what you're going to be looking for and tracking through spring practice.
Do you think we get an FBS quarterback? Do you think we get another veteran signal caller before
50-50? I think it's 50-50. I think we got we're looking. We've got we'll probably look for some additional experience as far as the offensive line is concerned. But the offensive line is going to be better anyway. But we'll probably try to get some insurance there. We're going to hit a running back, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get another twitch receiver, another slot guy who can go in with the new kid and with the kids that are already here. We're going to be looking for difference makers. Those guys who will win games for you in a clutch. I think that's what we're going to be going at.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So
hold on, man. Before we go, I want to do 2 things. I want to honor and recognize all the athletes and Aggies who graduated and walked across the stage in December.
Yes.
Because we know that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I'd be remiss if we didn't dedicate the show or honor the fallen young lady we had off the volleyball team, Miss Fatima Shabazz.
Oh, man.
It was such a tragic story.
That was sad.
Anytime we have a loss in our university, it's always tough on us, man. But she was a phenomenal young lady from what I can understand and the things that I've seen online. And I had a chance to meet some of the volleyball team, and we fed the players during the athletes right before the break. So, I saw how that's tough news for everybody involved. But, Aggies, we rally around each other, and Aggies do. And I saw, some folks really taking care of each other. But I wanted to highlight her and recognize her tonight before we got off, guys.
And definitely keep Shabazz and her family, the Shabazz family in your prayers. And that was a terrible tragedy, so unexpected. I still remember when I heard the news, like, what? That can't be right. But so awful. But like I said, we definitely want to embrace everybody and thank all the fans who are watching us tonight. And if you didn't catch it live, you can watch it, on YouTube tomorrow, whenever. We got a lot of information. Thank you so much for Zach, grown man Leslie, for coming in. And see, Leslie's a quiet.
You still alive, baby.
He's a silent assassin. He doesn't do a lot of media. he doesn't do it, like I say, he doesn't poke his chest out a lot. He just kills you every time he's on the field. So for him to take time out of his schedule to come on our show, I really appreciate that. Owe him a big one. And of course, Jamaal Darden, and that he don't mind stepping on some toes. He's
a dart thrower, isn't he?
yeah. I love that guy. Follow both. You can follow him on social media. But let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. I know we got school tomorrow and all that kind of good stuff. So
I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
But there's some substitute gigs out there, Craig. We can get you some substitute.
I know.
Gigs,
no,
that's all right. That's all right.
Doug, forget about substituting. He needs to drive some of these damn buses.
The CDLs go.
We got to get these kids to school. They got to ride a city bus around here in Greensboro.
Let them do like I did. Wear out them red ball jets walking.
Oh man,
I'm old school. Put one foot in front of the other and get to stepping.
So, guys, we might have to do a special Aggie Love show in a couple of weeks for Valentine's Day because, we all of us, our better halves, we've all been married for a while. So, and that's some Aggie Love stories out here. Yeah, I think we might have to do like a little call and everybody can share how they met their spouse on the yard or wherever. So that might be a nice thing. So you guys come on the site and keep giving us feedback and ideas on some topics that we can cover for you and some guests we can try to invite. Can't guarantee they'll show up, but we can definitely send an invitation out. But yeah, we're gonna start being consistent again. This is a lot of fun. Doug and renovated his whole studio, so we gotta make him get his money's worth. He invested in the headquarters.
We got a ways to go. We're getting there.
How DJ doing? He's playing some sports.
Oh, everybody's doing well, man. We just, we're digging out from the snow too, man. We've been enjoying these snow days and trying to get back on track in 2022. So we're ready to go, man.
All right, so you hug Mitzi for me. You hug Angela. See you guys next time. So for Craig Turner, Doug Brown, I am Samaj Marsh. This was a special signing day edition of Blue Death After Dark. And I'm not sure about next week, but we will see you guys soon. Take care. Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.